Chapter 1558. Humans were born with their own bloodline. The only difference was whether it was a high-grade bloodline or an ordinary bloodline. The ox blood technique needed to refine blood chi from the flesh and blood of other living beings and fuse it into one's own blood chi. It was not easy to fuse two different types of blood chi together. The ox blood technique could forcefully fuse and increase the blood chi, but there would also be hidden dangers. And this hidden danger was the repulsion between the blood chi. Even if this repulsion was very small, after accumulating day and night, it would become a huge hidden danger. The reason why Yang Wu could sense the existence of this hidden danger was because of the purifying blood pill that he refined for the Jiang clan. He then carefully sensed the drawbacks of the ox blood technique. The clan leader of the Jiang clan did not hide it from him. Once there was a repulsion with the absorbed blood chi, the blood chi had to be expelled. Instead of refining it, they had to choose the flesh and blood of other living beings to consume. If there was no repulsion, they could use it to strengthen the blood chi. Unfortunately, it was not so easy to find flesh and blood chi without repulsion. Most of the time, they did not care about this hidden danger. This hidden danger could be suppressed by the power of the stars. Only as one's cultivation level increased would it appear. There were experts of the Jiang clan who directly self-destructed because they could no longer suppress the repulsion force of the blood chi. This kind of thing was already a common occurrence. Other than that, it also caused a mutation in their Jiang clan's bloodline. Some of the Jiang clan disciples had the talent of other living beings. At the same time, they also had the physical changes of other living beings. This made them happy and worried. They were happy because they could become stronger. They were worried because they were afraid that they would become living beings of other races. They would not look like humans, nor demons. This was also the reason why Jiang Ting wanted Yang Wu to refine the purifying blood pill. Yang Wu understood this principle. He thought of a solution. Others could not purify the power of blood chi, but he could. After he continuously fused the blood chi into his bloodline, he directly separated a strand of immortal chi to wander in his bloodline. Immediately, he erased all the repulsive power of blood chi. This also meant that he would not have that hidden danger like the Jiang clan. After Yang Wu understood the ox blood technique, he did not pay too much attention to using this ancient technique to cultivate. Although this was a way to increase his blood energy, it was not essential to him. He could concoct a medicinal liquid that could increase his blood chi. It was more effective than the ox blood technique. For the next period of time, he would focus more on cultivating the star prayer technique and continue to increase his combat strength. In addition, he once again opened the furnace to refine the cleansing blood pill for Jiang Ting, and also spent a part of the time instructing Jiang Lu. Jiang Lu's talent was really high. Even Yang Wu couldn't help but sigh. This brat was even stronger than Dan Zi, and was not much worse than him. Thus, he guided Jiang Lu even more attentively, hoping that after he left this place, Jiang Lu could become the most outstanding alchemist in the Jiang clan. Yang Wu also took the opportunity to obtain the alchemy codex from the bronze cauldron's spirit. He never knew that the bronze cauldron had such a private item. Now that he obtained it all, he was incomparably satisfied. The alchemy codex was all-encompassing and involved all kinds of alchemy methods, as well as all kinds of precious pill formulas. It was definitely the most complete classic alchemy method in the history of the human race. Legend had it that it was left behind by a human powerhouse called Dan. With the name Dan, it was enough to see how powerful his alchemy skills were. Yang Wu inherited this precious alchemy codex, and then passed it all to Jiang Lu. The parts that Jiang Lu could not comprehend were sealed by him, sealed in Jiang Lu's divine court. Lu Master sealed the alchemy codex in your divine court. Only when your realm becomes stronger and stronger can you unseal it one by one. Remember not to forcefully unseal it, or else it will cease to exist, Yang Wu reminded. Jiang Lu said with incomparable gratitude, "Many thanks for Master's nurturing." Jiang Lu was not good with words, but he could feel Yang Wu's attentiveness in nurturing him. He revered Yang Wu like a god. Yang Wu also never thought that this one thing he did would become an amazing alchemist. Half a year passed in the blink of an eye. It was time for the saints outside to choose their commanders. Everyone elected Pu Tuolyuo, Xiezhen, Lei Jingtian, Kuan Mingzi, and Xianyuan Tianlong as the commanders. As for Yang Wu, he was forgotten by everyone. Even though Yang Wu once promised that he would give a sacred pill to whoever nominated him as a commander, gathering some popularity, during this period of time, he and the people of the Yang family had separated themselves from the saints. They had always stayed in the Jiang family's territory and did not appear, so they missed the chance to become a commander. The prestige of the 5 commanders in front of them was not inferior to Yang Wu's. The others were not unconvinced. Pu Tuolyuo was the first on the predicted martial saint list, Xiezhen was the second, Lei Jingtian was the 8th, Kuan Mingzi was the 11th, and Xianyuan Tianlong was the 18th. All of them were super martial saints, enough to command the crowd. On the Jiang family's side, Jiang Ge, Jiang Ji, Jiang Hu, and Jiang Feng were the leaders. They were all peak saints. They did not have the so-called half-step to the heavenly arrival realm. If they wanted to break through, they would reach the heavenly arrival realm. They would not be stuck at the half-step. This was the reason why their family advanced bravely. With their peak saint strength, they could completely kill a half-step to the heavenly arrival realm in the outside world, or even a heavenly arrival realm. The head of the Jiang family, Jiang Ting, and the protector appeared once again. The allure of the All Saints Assembly is endless. You can fight for the resources inside as you wish. Whatever you obtain will belong to you, and we will definitely not take it. However, we have one request, and that is to work together to head to the All Saints Hall. The All Saints Hall only allows 10,000 saints to enter. The Transcendental World is only one world, and we have more than 10,000 saints going there. In addition, there are also saints from other clans going there. In addition, there are also creatures from other spatial worlds going there, which is where all the peak saints of the human world gather. There are at least 10 million of them. Out of 10 million saints, only 10,000 will be able to enter. Think about how cruel it is, so no matter what happens, all of you must work together and do your best to rush to the All Saints Hall. The protector took the lead and said solemnly. After he finished speaking, the head of the Jiang family, Jiang Ting, said, "All Saints Hall is a place that connects to the divine world. It is a place where you can go to the divine world. Once you enter the All Saints Hall, it means that you can go to the divine world. The resources obtained by each spatial world will also be divided according to the proportion of the resources obtained by entering the All Saints Hall. One Saint Realm creature can obtain 1/10,000th of the resources, and 10 Saint Realm creatures can obtain 1,000th of the resources. In our transcendental world, other places are incomparably lacking in resources. This is because every 1,000 years, very few creatures from our transcendental world enter the divine world, causing our transcendental world to become one of the weakest spatial worlds in the human world. For the sake of all the creatures in the transcendental world, you all have an important mission. Once you enter the All Saints Hall, you all must take care of yourselves. You will not be able to leave at any time like you did here." When the saints heard these words, they were all filled with fighting spirit. Having reached their current cultivation bases, their horizons were already very high. They yearned to reach the heavens, and also to contribute to their descendants. Thus, going to the All Saints Assembly and obtaining resources for the transcendental world was their mission. "It is not too late to give up now," the guardian added. He paused for a moment before continuing, "There are countless divine objects inside. Once you enter, it will not be difficult to break through to the heavens ascension realm. Furthermore, you will not be expelled. You can continue to participate in battles until you reach the All Saints Hall." At this, The eyes of the half-step heaven's ascension realm and the peak saints lit up. If they could break through to the Jade Moon realm inside, their chances of victory would be even greater. However, if they could break through to the Jade Moon realm, wouldn't the other creatures participating in the All Saints competition be able to break through as well? This also meant that this was going to be an incomparably cruel competition. All right, since no one is withdrawing, prepare to open the altar and head to the All Saints Assembly's sacred ground, the Guardian said. Jiang Ting waved his hand, and the sound of a bugle horn rang out once more. Many powerful creatures were released from the left and right sides of the altar. They let out earth-shattering roars, wanting to escape from this place. However, a powerful force enveloped them, slapping them into pools of blood. Pung! Pung! 6 deity-level creatures exploded. Divine blood splattered on the altar, opening the path to the altar. The formation patterns around the altar began to move. The blood-colored formation was activated. Divine power struck the altar again, and a void gate opened. Yang Wu had walked through the void gate before, and could sense it very clearly. As long as one stepped into it, the stars would move, and they would arrive at another space. The passage to the All Saints Assembly for the human race of the Transcendents was in the depths of the final world. It was no wonder that every martial saint assembly would gather here. As for the other races, they would definitely have similar void gate. In the end, they would all gather in the All Saints Assembly's space. Children, you have an important mission on your shoulders. Every drop of blood you shed will be recorded on the Martial Saint tablet. You can enter now. Whoever can contribute to the Transcendence realm will be a meritorious official of the Transcendence realm, and will be recorded in history, the Guardian said faintly. Jiang Ting also spoke. The disciples of the Jiang clan must enter the All Saints Palace. The saints of the Jiang clan all shouted in unison, "We must enter the All Saints Palace. We must enter the All Saints Palace." Their fighting spirit was high, and their battle blood was boiling. They all rushed towards the void gate. They were all riding mighty mounts, like celestial soldiers and generals. Their auras were astonishing, and they had the spirit of wearing golden armor after 100 battles, and not returning until Lulan is broken. The saints of the outside world were not to be outdone. Under the shouts of several commanders, they also released their Saint Chi and rushed towards the void gate. I must become a member of the All Saints Palace. No one can stop me from going to the deity realm. My blood is boiling. Let me fight to my heart's content. Chapter 1559. Through the void gate, the stars moved. The saints felt as if they had gone through a long period of time. In the blink of an eye, they arrived at a place that made them incomparably stupefied. The profound chi of heaven and earth here was even denser than in the end-world space. The sky was full of stars hanging high in the sky. Strands of star power fell down, nourishing the towering trees as well as countless flowers and trees. These were all spiritual objects, sacred objects, and even divine objects. Saint veins and divine stones could be faintly seen everywhere. This was simply a unique divine land. They felt as if they were dreaming. How could there be such a mystical place? The difference between the end-world space and the transcendent world was like heaven and earth. No wonder the Protector said that this place was full of temptation. There were endless heavenly treasures. It was too rich and too tempting. In addition, there were spiritual springs flowing horizontally here. None of the things here were ordinary. How could there be no danger in such a rich divine land? The saints didn't dare to act blindly without thinking. They swallowed their breaths and restrained their inner desires. They also didn't dare to immediately fight over these heavenly treasures. At this time, in different directions, a terrifying aura appeared one after another. The saints looked into the distance and saw the saints of other races appearing in the void. Haha, I have finally arrived at the origin of the human world. I want to seize all the resources here. The human world is the most perfect place. It should belong to us. Before heading to the All Saints Temple, Let's warm up first. There are a lot of small fries appearing in other directions. Let's eliminate them all. Wave after wave of saints appeared. There were humans, foreign races, demon race, and devil race. Among them, the human race was the most numerous. After all, this was the human world, the place where the human race depended on for survival. The other races were the foreign races. The foreign races were composed of various foreign races' armies. Then there were the demon race. The demon race's numbers were just as large. They had once fought with the human race for the human world's territory. The devil race was merely an invader. They mainly lived in the devil world. Heavenly treasures could be seen everywhere in this place. It was very easy to seize them, but one had to ask the permission of the other creatures. On the Transcendence side, Jianggu rode on a tiger and said loudly, "Let's not touch these natural treasures for now. Let's head towards the All Saints' Hall at full speed. The closer we get to the All Saints' Hall, the more precious the natural treasures there will be." Jiang Ji's voice rang out, "Whoever dares to disobey will be killed without mercy." His killing intent was dense and his aura was surging. He was definitely not joking. The saints came back to their senses, and someone said unhappily, "I'm afraid of you in your territory, but now that we're here, it's not your turn to order me around. I'm leaving." This pinnacle saint left as soon as he said so. He did not plan to move together with them. However, just as he was about to leave, a meteor-like arrow shot towards him. Bang! The pinnacle saint did not even have time to react before his head exploded. The saints shuddered, and the way they looked at Jiang Ji changed completely. This person was definitely a super martial sage. His strength was so abnormal that it was frightening. If they continued to provoke him, he could really kill them all. "Let's go!" Jiang Gu took the opportunity to shout and led the way in the All Saints' Hall's direction. The All Saints' Hall's location was very obvious. It was a huge hall floating in the air, far away in the depth. The saints had good eyesight and could see it at a glance. If they flew at full speed, it should not take long for them to arrive. However, this seemingly easy journey was not that simple. It seemed close, but it was actually far away. Not only that, but a large number of Saint Realm creatures had entered along the way. A battle was unavoidable. Even if Jianggu ordered people to restrain themselves from touching the natural treasures here, it did not mean that the other races would think the same. Groups of more than 30,000 or even 50,000 Saint Realm creatures arrived. Their goal was to head towards the All Saints' Hall. There were only 10,000 places. It was too limited. If these creatures wanted to occupy a large number of places, they naturally had to eliminate the other groups first. A group of foreign race creatures provoked the humans of the Transcendence world. Which spatial realm did you humans come from? With such a small number, you can't head to the All Saints' Hall. Why don't you join my race's army, and let me lead you to the All Saints' Hall? A Jade Emperor race creature shone with a dark green light as he shouted at the humans of the Transcendence world. The Jade Emperor race had always been a very powerful race. They had gathered many foreign race creatures around them. There were more than 50,000 of them. This number was much greater than the Transcendence world. The Transcendence Saints finally understood what the Protectors meant when they said the Transcendence world was weak. In front of such a large group, they were indeed too weak. "Don't look for trouble." Jianggu coldly looked at the Jade Emperor race creature and replied, "Don't be ungrateful. We outnumber you by several times. Joining us will only bring you benefits and no harm. Otherwise, you will quickly be eliminated by the other group." The Jade Emperor race creature said. Jianggu did not reply. He waved his hand at the people behind him, and prepared to pass by them and continue forward. So disobedient. Let's teach them a lesson. The Jade Emperor race creature shouted impatiently and ordered the foreign race creatures behind him. These non-humankind beings all shouted out excitedly. "Kill them and the All Saints' Hall's spots will all be ours. I don't even know which realm these people came from. They dare to come out and embarrass themselves. Stop talking nonsense. Let's attack together and kill them. The foreign race creatures attacked as they pleased. They really did not give the humans of the Transcendence world any face. If you want to fight, I'll keep you company. But look over there. The fellows from the other realms are here. Do you want to weaken yourselves first? Jiang was arranged to be the leader. Naturally, he was more intelligent than others. He immediately warned the foreign race to not act rashly. At this time, the creatures of the 81 realms were entering. These foreign race creatures were definitely not the most numerous. If they really fought, they would have a high chance of winning, but they would also suffer losses. When that time came, they would become fish on the chopping block of the other realms. As expected, after his voice fell, the Jade Emperor race creature ordered them to stop. Humph, consider yourself lucky. Let's see if you have the ability to reach All Saints Hall. The Jade Emperor race creature coldly snorted and led the creatures of his realm away. Indeed, there could be an intense battle at any time. No team should fight too early. Some teams were not in a hurry to continue their journey. They descended to collect heaven and earth treasures. In the beginning, when they collected treasures, there was no danger. But the creatures of the other realms were envious. They went down to steal the treasures. Finally, the battle began. The group from the Transcendent Realm was not spared either. While they were hurrying on their way, a group of people suddenly appeared and began to crazily surround and kill them. They were creatures from Dark World Star. They were good at sneak attacks. Their numbers were not much higher than the humans of the Transcendence world. Jianggu, Jiangji, and the others burst forth with powerful fighting strength and forcibly blocked the attacks. The other saints could not avoid them. They all attacked and killed the creatures of Dark World Star. The creatures of Dark World Star were best at sneak attacks in the dark. It was impossible to guard against. In a one-on-one battle, they were not as strong as the humans. The reason why they attacked the humans of the Transcendence was because they wanted to snatch resources from them. Even if they did not touch the natural treasures here, they would definitely have plenty of resources on them. By killing this team and snatching their resources, they could strengthen their team's strength. After they failed to hit, they quickly fled. They did not continue to fight. They came and went very quickly. This was the most troublesome part about them. The Transcendence side was ambushed once. Dozens of people died, but the other side did not suffer any losses. This was an invisible blow to their confidence. Jianggu, Jiangji, and the others calmly led the way. They continued to ignore the treasures they found along the way. In their eyes, there was only All Saints Hall. However, good things did not last long. When they saw an old tree full of tempting holy fruits, another person left the team to collect the holy fruit. This person came from one of the major forces. Jiangji immediately executed the law and killed him on the spot. I have tolerated you for a long time. You even killed your own people. You are not here to steal resources. You are only here for the quota of All Saints Hall. The person from the major force shouted. Another person supported him and shouted, "That's right. Why should we listen to them? Commanders, please uphold justice for us. We can't continue like this. They don't care about so many treasures because they live in the end world space. They don't lack these things. We come from the Transcendence side. We don't have so many good things. The creatures of other space realms are fighting over them. Why can't we? The Protector said that the treasures here belong to us. You have no right to disturb us." The group from the Transcendent Realm finally erupted into chaos. Jianggu frowned and said, "You are weak. If you don't listen to us, you will die." "Nonsense. How are we weaker than you?" Someone cursed unhappily. "A group of ignorant people. The things here are the lowest grade. The real good things are inside. Once you get there, do you still have to worry about not having enough resources? I want you to preserve your strength so you can get more resources," Jiangji said disdainfully. "You speak as if you know this place very well. The treasures here are enough to tempt me. Even if there are higher grade treasures inside, We shouldn't let go of the good things here. That's right. We will collect some treasures along the way. It won't affect us going to All Saints' Hall. Everyone, don't hurt each other. It will give the other teams a chance. Listen to our Commander Jiang Gu and Commander Jiang Ji. If you don't want to come, please leave. The Jiang clan's saint and the other saints started to argue. Amitba, let this monk say something. If you want to go to All Saints' Hall, go ahead. If you don't want to go, stay. There is no need to quarrel. Chapter 1560. It was very hard for the Jiang clan's saints to be of the same mind as the other saints. They lived in different places, and their methods of doing things were completely different. It was normal for them to be disloyal. After Putoro spoke, the saints finally began to split up and go their separate ways. The Jiang clan's 6,000 saints formed a team, so they would definitely stick together. The other saints were not willing to follow them, but rather they followed Putoro, Xiezhen, Lei Jing Tian, Kuan Mingzi, and Xian Yuan Tianlong. As for Putoro, he went with Lei Jing Tian's team. Kuan Mingzi and Xian Yuan Tianlong went with each other. Xiezhen led a team alone. The saints of the transcendent world were split into 4 and their strength became incomparably weak. Overall, the Jiang clan's 6,000 saints were still the strongest. In the entire transcendent world team, the Jiang clan's saints were the strongest and had the highest chance of entering the 10,000 saints temple. If the Jiang clan entered the 10,000 saints clan, the transcendent world would be able to obtain resources. This was also the reason why the protectors were willing to respect the Jiang clan. Just think about it, which other team could have as many powerful saints as the Jiang clan? Even the Xian Yuan clan from the War Clan world did not have this kind of ability. Jiang Gu and Jiang Ji did not force the teams that wanted to leave to stay. They were not good at scheming and only knew how to do things step by step. The clan leader had said that if other people wanted to leave, they should not stop them. Anyway, they could not stop them. There were less than 200 people left in the Jiang clan's team, and Yang Wu's group was among these 200 people. Yang Wu had wanted to capture Xietian to stay with them, but in the end, this brat had mixed in with Kuan Mingzi's team and left with them. Yang Zixing also wanted to leave the team, but he was firmly suppressed by Yang Zhenan, not giving him a chance. The others were rogue cultivators or smart people. They knew that they could go further by following the Jiang clan saints. They would only be cannon fodder if they followed others. Are you sure you don't want to leave? Jiang Gu asked Yang Wu's group. Of course. I'll follow your instructions. Let's go, Yang Wu replied. The others were even less likely to have any objections. They all agreed with what Yang Wu said. Jiang Gu knew Yang Wu's identity. He nodded at him and continued on his way. With the loss of nearly 9,000 people, their team seemed even weaker. From time to time, groups would come out to provoke them, but they ignored them and only knew to head towards the All Saints' Hall at full speed. However, the distance between the All Saints' Hall and the All Saints' Hall seemed to be about the same. It didn't get any closer just because they rushed over. The saint of the Jiang clan continued to fly patiently, not showing the slightest bit of impatience. They had lived in the End World for a long time, fighting with all kinds of fierce creatures since they were young. Sometimes, in order to deal with a creature, they could guard it for 10 days to half a month without moving at all, and in the end, they would kill it with a single strike. However, there were some things that would come, and they would come. They were in such a hurry, but there were also other creatures who were in a hurry as well. Naturally, there would be creatures who wanted to eliminate them. A troop of 30,000 human warriors had launched an attack against them, determined to kill them all. This was a group of bloodthirsty humans, and their combat strength was also abnormally strong. They didn't give Jiang Gu, Jiang Ji, and the others any chance to speak at all. They attacked as they pleased. Yang Wu had always known that the battle would come, but he didn't expect it to come so quickly. The Jiang clan was also powerful enough. Their spirit and qi fused together to form an extremely terrifying battle formation. When they attacked at the same time, their mighty attacks were extremely powerful. They could actually fight head-on against the 30,000 humans from the other spatial realms. The Jiang clan was too strong, too powerful. No wonder they had once fought against 10 or 20,000 saints with just a few hundred people. Even if they came here, they still had a unique advantage compared to the creatures from the other spatial realms. This kind of joint battle formation was very similar to the Yang clan's bloodline power. It could gather the power of all the clansmen into one and erupt with extremely powerful combat strength. Rumble! The earth-shattering power continued to intertwine, and the sound of explosions continued to resound, and the power splashed in all directions unceasingly. This battle was so intense that no one could hide from it. Yang Wu, Yang Zhenan, Yang Ba, Su Chu, and Meng Bingxue, who was beside Yang Wu, all attacked. Whoever dared to hold back might lose their lives here. None of the 30,000 saints were weaker than them in terms of combat strength. When they attacked together, it was really too terrifying. In the end, the Jiang clan took out an ancient beast skin. This beast skin had another world hidden within. After their power was channeled into it, a powerful figure appeared, as if the Jiang clan's ancestor had descended, directly suppressing the other party's aura. The beast skin swept across and took the lives of thousands of saint creatures, completely scaring them away. None of the 6,000 people of the Jiang clan died. The ones who died were the other saints. Yang Wu could be considered to have seen the strength of the Jiang clan. They had indeed come prepared. Continue on our way. Jiang Gu shouted. They traveled day and night and finally left most of the living beings behind them. They wanted to gather at the All Saints Palace as soon as possible to prepare for the All Saints clan's qualification. Yang Wu also admired this team of the Jiang clan. They were disciplined and their formation was neat. They obeyed orders, and none of them were a hindrance. On the contrary, there were some saints on their side who couldn't resist the temptation. When they saw a divine item that was similar to their cultivation power, they started to want to collect it. After all, it was a matter of breaking through to the heaven-connecting realm. Yang Wu had no choice but to grab that saint back. If Yang Wu was a little slower, that saint would definitely be killed by the Jiang clan. After half a month of rushing, they finally stopped. From now on, we will stop once every 3 days for 4 hours each time to rest and reorganize. It will also allow everyone to collect resources as they wish. If you don't listen to my orders, you will bear the consequences. Jiang Gu ordered. This time, everyone was overjoyed. They could finally collect some good heavenly treasures. This place was a mountain range that was more abundant than the outer area. There were rare flowers and treasures growing everywhere. Moreover, there weren't any dangers. They could easily collect these resources. However, divine items like those weren't so easy to collect. They could fly and burrow into the ground. They wouldn't be easily captured. Yang Wu's group also wouldn't let go of these heavenly treasures. Each of them tried their best to collect the precious resources. Yang Wu also didn't interfere with the people around him. He allowed them to find what they wanted. Yang Wu's target was a divine vein in the distance. That divine vein was hidden not too deep underground. He could clearly sense it. There were some divine herbs and divine flowers on the divine vein. It was the most valuable place. Woo-wah, woo-wah. There was a divine flower with a baby's face. After sensing Yang Wu's arrival, it let out a strange cry. Then, its face shrunk and shrank into the soil, not daring to show its head. There was also a divine herb that turned into a knife. It kept swaying in the distance. It was as if it could resist anyone who wanted to get close to it. Yang Wu laughed heartily. What a good place! In the next moment, he mobilized the power around him and forcefully pulled out the divine vein. The soil here was incomparably thick. The power of a saint couldn't easily move it. It wouldn't be so easy for others to pull out the divine vein. However, Yang Wu could forcefully do it. The power of the stars he had activated far exceeded that of a saint. It was comparable to the power of a mid-level divine realm creature. How difficult would it be to grab a divine vein? Yang Wu's methods still attracted the attention of the Jiang family. They knew that Yang Wu was good at alchemy and had a high reputation among the other saints. However, they didn't know that his fighting strength was also so strong. Nan rushed over and said, "Brother, I think there's something better over there." Nan had an innate ability to sense treasures. This was something that Yang Wu had discovered long ago. After Yang Wu collected the divine vein, he took her in another direction. What came into view was a pile of meteorites that were exposed in front of them. The extraterrestrial meteorite was not simple. It was a rare material used to forge divine weapons. After adding the extraterrestrial meteorite, the grade of the divine weapon would increase, becoming indestructible. However, these meteorites were not the biggest discovery. In the pile of meteorites there was a small essence stone that was the most precious. Yang Wu and Nan rushed over. Looking at the shiny crystal, Yang Wu was ecstatic. Is this a star core? A star core was an energy crystal formed after a star was destroyed. It contained the star's power and was incomparably precious. It was comparable to the life jade essence that Yang Wu had, perhaps even more so. This was because it was an important material for building divine palaces. Saints absorbed the star's power to increase their strength. A star core contained a large amount of star's power. Even a star core like this would contain enough energy for 1,000 or 2,000 saints to absorb at the same time. Moreover, it wouldn't be completely absorbed. This was a heavenly treasure that belonged to the true God level. This star core was very heavy, and not just anyone could put it away. An ordinary yin and yang ring wouldn't be able to store it. "Brother, quickly put it away," Nan urged Yang Wu. Yang Wu patted her shoulder and said, "This star core was found by you, so it's yours. Brother doesn't need it." "How can that be? Brother can use it to break through to the Jade Moon Realm." "Silly girl, it's not hard for brother to break through to the Jade Moon Realm. You can keep this star core. It can speed up your cultivation and will be of great use in the future. You can't let anyone know that you have it." Yang Wu was interested in the star core, but he didn't want to take Nanan's things. It was best to leave it to her. Perhaps she could break through to the Jade Moon Realm in the shortest time possible. It would be of great help to the recovery of Heaven Palace. Nan couldn't argue with Yang Wu, so she took out her connate gourd and prepared to put away the star core. It was at this moment that a team suddenly rushed towards them. One of them shouted, "You two, get out of the way. We found this essence stone first. If you move, you'll die." Chapter 1561. The people who had come were extremely overbearing. They immediately decided that it belonged to them. It was clear that they were going to take it from them. There were not many people in this team. There were only a few dozen of them. However, each of them was at the peak of the Saint Realm. Moreover, they were all wearing divine armor. Their mounts were very powerful. There were men and women, and they all looked very young. A few dozen people had the aura of 1,000 people. This was an elite group. After they arrived, they immediately attracted the attention of the Jiang clan. They quickly approached Yang Wu's position. They would not allow Yang Wu and Nan to be bullied. These dozens of people clearly did not care. Their faces were all filled with arrogance, and they ignored the people of the Jiang clan. Yang Wu protected Nan and allowed her to take the star core. The dozens of people were not happy. The person who had just spoken said, "How dare you ignore us? You are destined to be wiped out." Jiang Gu said, "Everyone can take the treasures here. You are being so overbearing. Get out of here." You must be the Jiang clan from the Transcendent Realm. I know it's you just by looking at the primitive people's clothes. Do you know which realm we are from?" The young man who had just spoken sneered. This young man was riding on a Qilin lion. He carried a long sword on his back and wore a gray divine armor. He had an evil smile on his face. He was not afraid of being surrounded by thousands of people. Jiang Gu frowned and said, No realm can bully us like this. Others could tell which realm they were from. This meant that they knew their background and were not afraid of them. They were clearly from an extraordinary place. We are from the profound dream realm. If you know what's good for you, hand over the essence stone. Otherwise, you won't be able to make it to the All Saints' temple. The young man said proudly. The people behind him also straightened their back. It was as if they were extremely proud after announcing themselves. When the Jiang clan heard the words profound dream realm, their expressions changed. The human realm was divided into 81 realms. The transcendent realm was at the bottom, while the profound dream realm was one of the top 10 realms. This ranking meant that their overall strength was much stronger than those in the transcendent world. One of them could fight against 5 or even 10 people in the transcendent world. The resources in the higher realms were much more abundant than the resources in the lower realms. The characters that grew in the higher realms were also much more powerful. This was obtained by our people. We won't hand it over. You guys can leave. Jiang Gu directly cut them off. Yang Wu and Nanan's statuses were very honorable. This was something that the patriarch had specially instructed. They would not allow anything to happen to the two of them. Yang Wu glanced at Jiang Gu and thought to himself, this Jiang clan member is indeed not bad. TSK Jiang clan, oh Jiang clan, you guys are really not afraid of death. The young man in luxurious clothes said with a cold glint in his eyes. Behind the young man, a woman laughed. It seems that we have too few people. We'll have to call more people over to make them afraid. After saying that, she raised her arm, and a wave of energy shot up into the sky. Then, it formed a dazzling ray of light that could be seen clearly by all the living creatures in all directions. This was the profound dream realm's signal for help. Jiang Ji's expression changed. He ordered, let's go. The Jiang clan was powerful, but compared to the people of the deep dream world, they could only retreat. It was not that they were not powerful enough, but that the other party had many divine weapons, and many more powerful trump cards. This was not the first time they had clashed with each other. Not only that, but the profound dream realm's saints would be many more. It was not like the transcendent realm, which only had 15,000 people. The transcendent realm's top 10 realms had 10 times more people than them. This was the number of people they had won in the previous assembly of saints. The Jiang clan left as soon as they said they would. Even Yang Wu and Nanan did not stay. This was the first time they had been scared off by so few people. The dozens of people from the profound dream realm had playful looks on their faces. They did not stop the Jiang clan's people, but followed them. Xian Ho, the Jiang clan's people are not weak. Are you sure you want to fight them? The woman who had just sent out the signal asked the young man in luxurious clothes. This woman was beautiful, and her body was hot. She wore a revealing armor that revealed her sparkling skin. It was enough to make people drool. Mengying, you saw what that piece was just now. That's a star core, and in this place, it's a top-notch divine object. We can't miss it. The young man called Xian Ho replied. So it is a star core. Then we cannot miss it. The woman licked her lips. The profound dream realm and the profound dream realm's two most powerful families. This man and woman were the outstanding representatives of these two families. They had the signal to summon their companions. Commander Jiang Gu, we have dragged you into this. Why don't we retreat and let them deal with us? Yang Wu sent a message to Jiang Gu. We do not have the habit of abandoning our comrades, Jiang Gu said in a low voice. Yang Wu's heart warmed. He did not say anything else. He said, they will not give up. Once a fight breaks out, I hope you can spare some of your forces to help me. I want them to return empty-handed. Jiang Gu raised an eyebrow and said, we will see. Not long after, many saints gathered from all directions. They were all from the profound dream realm. Stop the Jiang clan's people, Xian Ho ordered. These 20,000 people quickly went to stop the Jiang clan's people. The Jiang clan's people had to stop. Jiang Gu said unhappily, do you really want to fight with us? Do you really think we are pushovers? Hand over the two of them and your spoils. Then I will let you live. Otherwise, don't even think about escaping. Xian Ho laughed. The Jiang clan's people were very strong. Unless it was absolutely necessary, he did not want to fight to the death with them. Then let's fight, Jiang replied. 6,000 of my people can trade for all of your lives, Jiang Hu shouted from the side. The Jiang clan's people's battle chi connected, forming a terrifying force. Once the battle broke out, they would be able to deal a great deal of damage. The profound Dream Realm's people's expressions also became serious. They still wanted to save their strength to fight the people from the other top 10 space realms. They did not want to lose too many people here. Xian Ho, what is going on? Someone from the profound Dream Realm asked Xian Ho. Those who dared to call Xian Ho by his name were definitely not any weaker than Xian Ho. This was a tall and handsome man. He wore a black cloak, and when he walked, he carried an extraordinary aura. It was an innate nobility. When Xian Ho saw who it was, his expression changed. He quickly bowed and said, "Greetings, Seventh Prince. They stole what I found first. Meng Ying and I are few in number, so we are not enough to scare them off. That is why we asked for help." The seventh prince was called Xianqinmu. He said, "Think of a way to deal with such a small matter. We do not have enough people to fight to the death with them." "Yes, seventh prince. I will deal with this," Xian Ho quickly replied. Among the saints of the profound Dream Realm, this seventh prince was in the top 10. He was also of noble birth, leaving Xian Ho far behind. Xianqinmu did not want to stay here for long, so he quickly left with a team of 5,000 people. The remaining 15,000 troops were still enough to intimidate the Jiang clan's people. Marquis Xian looked at the distant Xianqinmu and heaved a sigh of relief. He wiped the sweat off his forehead and exclaimed in his heart, "That was close. If the seventh prince knew that I found the star core, then I would have nothing to do with it. I must quickly resolve this matter." In the next moment, he shouted at Jiang Gu, "I will say it again. Hand them over and you can leave. Do not force me to make a move against you." "Impossible." Jiang Gu flatly refused. "You really think I don't dare to make a move against you?" Xian Ho said angrily. Just as Django was about to reply, Nanan said from the side, "Why don't I give them the items?" Nanan had a good impression of the Jiang clan. She did not want them to be in danger because of her. Yang Wu said from the side, "No, let me take care of this." Thus, Yang Wu stood up and said to Xian Ho, "If you really dare to make a move, then do it now. Let's talk. We will not give up the thing we obtained. You don't want to miss it either. How about you and I fight? Whoever wins will take the thing away. One-on-one, this was the best way to deal with it." Do you have the qualifications to compete with me?" The Xian Ho sneered, and then he said, "But your idea is not bad, but you have to fight the three of us alone. If you win, you can take the thing away. If you lose, you have to give it to me, and you have to become my loyal servant. One-on-one, otherwise there is no need to talk." Jiang Ji said. The people of the profound Dream Realm were generally strong. Xian Ho actually proposed a 3-on-1, this was too shameless. There is no room for discussion. Either he fights the three of us or we all fight you. Xian Ho said fiercely. Yang Wu waved a hand and said, "No problem. 1-on-3. He was the least afraid of fighting. He had even fought people from the immortal world. Why would he be afraid of people from the profound Dream Realm? When he was in the Divine Cloud battlefield, he had learned from Fei Qing and Fei Ye that there were 81 spatial realms. The profound Dream Realm was in the top 10. They were very strong, but was he weaker than them? "Big brother, let me do it," Nanan said. "Big brother is here. There is no need for you to fight. Just stay here," Yang Wu said. Xian Ho laughed and said, "Haha, you are very strong-willed. I will not bully you. I will send our 3 most ordinary saints to fight. Sha Yi, Sha Lo, Sha Kai, you 3 brothers go. Take good care of this little brother for me. Let him know that the people of the profound dream realm are very reasonable. As soon as he finished speaking, 3 bald men came out from behind him and said, "Yes." The 3 of them were bald and looked exactly the same. They were triplets. They all wore the same yellow robes and carried the same battle weapons. It was difficult to tell who was who. Chapter 1562. Sha-E, Sha-Lo, and Sha-Kai were only average in the profound dream world. They were only at level 11. However, if anyone dared to look down on them, they would be making a huge mistake. The fact that they were able to participate in the Sage Convention meant that they were extraordinary. This was because the 3 of them were of the same mind, and they cultivated the Dream Linking Sutra. Once the 3 of them worked together, their strength was enough to shake the heavens. This was their strongest point. The 3 of them walked out, and locked onto Yang Wu from 3 different directions. They released all of their auras. The power that they released individually was not much weaker than the power of a transcendent world's pinnacle saint. Higher-level realms of space were generally stronger than lower-level realms of space. This was not a lie. Linked heart palm. The 3 of them did not hold back against Yang Wu. They attacked Yang Wu at the same time. 3 similar palm techniques were sent out at the same time. The majestic aura locked down the heavens and the earth, not giving Yang Wu any chance to escape. It turned into a desert that enveloped Yang Wu. 3 palms attacking at the same time could kill a half-step transcendent heaven. This power was still too weak in Yang Wu's eyes. Yang Wu was too lazy to fight back. The black tortoise armor floated on his body, and the power of the 3 palms was dissipated. "If this is all you have, I advise you not to waste your strength," Yang Wu said. Xian Ho frowned and said, "Show me some skill." "Yes." The triplets shouted in unison, and all of their power exploded. They each drew a battle weapon and slashed at Yang Wu. Wild Sand God Slaying Blade. This was a blade technique that the 3 of them had created together. When they were very young, they walked through a desert. When they were almost dying of thirst, they comprehended the Wild Sand Blade Tao. The power of the blade was enough to kill gods. The power of the Dream Heart Sutra was also revealed. The power of the 3 of them gathered together, and 3 majestic and sharp saber shadows were endless. Xian Ho watched as the 3 of them went all out. He smiled confidently and said, "These 3 fellows are really strong when they join forces. Anyone who faces them alone will suffer." The people of the Jiang clan revealed a hint of nervousness. They didn't know if Yang Wu had the ability to block it. If the triplets worked together, they would be as powerful as Tongtian. It would be difficult for any one of them to deal with them. Yang Wu sensed it as well. He thought to himself, battle prowess comparable to a level 2 Jade Moon cultivator. As expected of someone from the profound dream realm. Their foundation is solid. In the next moment, he also made his move. Tsunami Palm. Yang Wu slapped out a powerful palm print. A tsunami rose from the ground and swept towards the 3 blades. Rumble, rumble. The power of the tsunami was smashed into smithereens by the powerful force of the saber light, causing the surrounding sand and stones to fly wildly, and waves of astonishing air waves rolled out. Fortunately, this was a special place, and the aura was very strong. The influence they caused was not as great as in the outside world, and their destructive power was also reduced by a lot. Their Tongtian level power was only relative to the rippling power of a small saint in the outside world. It had a lot to do with the aura of this place. When the 2 waves of attacks landed, the triplets began to switch positions. They used different battle techniques to attack Yang Wu from different places. Sandstorm raged. The 3 of them worked together to create a desert. They created a sandstorm of saber light that ravaged Yang Wu. They didn't give Yang Wu a chance to breathe. Yang Wu also continued to attack. He wasn't in a hurry to defeat them all at once. He couldn't reveal his trump card too early. Otherwise, they would do anything to kill him. It was better to wait until they thought he was easy to bully. Then, he'd shock them all. The saber light and the palm print continued to clash. The battle was getting more and more intense. It was difficult to determine who would win. Xian Ho was unhappy and shouted, "If you guys don't show some courage, the profound Dream Realm's reputation will be lost because of you." Sha Yi, Sha Lu, and Sha Kai were bitter. They had already used all their strength. There was nothing they could do if they couldn't take down their opponent. The young man in front of them was very strong. He wasn't as simple as he looked. They used their ultimate skills one after another. Every time, their opponent dodged by a hair's breadth. He was even able to counterattack. This made them very frustrated. "We can't drag this out any longer. He must still have a trump card. Let's use that move," Sha Yi said to the other two brothers. "Yeah, I feel like he's playing with us. We need to teach him a lesson," Sha Lu replied. "Let's use that move. We'll kill him in one move," Sha Kai said with killing intent. Immediately after, their auras erupted once again. The three of them shifted their positions and quickly overlapped with each other. The power of the three of them completely overlapped, as if they had merged into one person. At the same time, they slashed out a heaven-defying blade at Yang Wu. 3 hearts in one slash. The Dream Heart Sutra could help them connect their hearts to each other. If one person cultivated it, the other 3 would benefit. The 3 of them were in sync with each other. This was their ultimate move, pushing all of their strength to the limit. With a single slash, everything would be destroyed. This was the power of a level 3 reaching Heaven Realm cultivator. It was very difficult to fight someone of a higher realm, but this move of the 3 brothers not only crossed a realm, but also a few levels. Even in the deep dream world, not many people could take it. When the members of the Jiang clan saw this blade, their expressions became grave. Would Yang Wu be able to withstand this attack? The other saints looked on nervously. They hoped that Yang Wu could create a miracle. Looking at this strike, Jiang Ping murmured, "The cultivation method of these 3 guys is somewhat similar to my 1 Qi into 3 purities art." Finally, they used some strength. The mystic Marquis said with a smile. From his point of view, Yang Wu would definitely die under this blade. There was no doubt that the star core would belong to him. However, before he could retract his smile, his expression froze. The killing blow was shattered, and the 3 figures were sent flying. No one knew what had happened. It seemed that before the power of the attack was fully released, Yang Wu had taken advantage of it and defeated them with a thunderous attack. Was that really what had happened? Yang Wu clapped his hands and smiled. "Sorry, you were a bit slow when you worked together." It wasn't that they were slow, but that Yang Wu was too fast. Before they could finish their attack, Yang Wu had arrived. How could someone who had been suppressed by them take advantage of such a good opportunity to react? The 3 brothers' auras had shrunk. They could not fight again. Xian Ho scolded, "You 3 pieces of trash. Get up and fight again. If you can't beat him, you can die." He could not accept the fact that they had lost. The triplets had no choice but to eat the healing elixir and prepare to attack Yang Wu again. Yang Wu would not give them another chance. In a flash, the 3 of them were slammed to the ground again. "Are you people from the deep dream world all so cruel? I worked hard for you and you let me die." Yang Wu sighed. Then he turned around and walked back to the Jiang clan. He was ready to leave. Xian Ho did not want to let go of the star core. He glanced at someone beside him. That person understood. Like a flash of lightning, he flew towards Yang Wu and attacked Yang Wu. The Jiang clan did not expect the people from the deep dream world to go back on their word and attack. It was too late for them to help Yang Wu. Careful! Despicable! The people from the Jiang clan and the Yang clan cried out in panic. The attacker was skilled in the power of the wind. His speed was shocking and his attacks were fast. He was also very strong. Yang Wu had no time to dodge. No, he didn't even think about dodging. When the opponent's palm was about to land on him, his black tortoise armor was activated to the maximum. The power of the palm was forcefully dissipated. The attacker's attack was too fast, and the power of the deflection pushed him to the side. He lost his balance. He was shocked at first, and then wanted to attack again. Yang Wu was already fighting back. "You think I'm easy to bully?" Yang Wu slapped back. The ferocious palm contained his endless anger. It landed squarely on the attacker's face. Pang! The man did not even have a chance to react. His face was slapped, and his entire head exploded. It was not as simple as a swelling or losing a few front teeth. Yang Wu's palm was the real attack to establish his power. Everyone was completely stunned. Yang Wu was ambushed. Not only did he react in time, he killed the attacker in one move. This was an expert from the profound dream world. He was a half-step into immortal ascension. He could fight against immortal ascension cultivators and kill them with one palm. This was too much. In fact, this was not an exaggeration to Yang Wu. He could fight against immortal ascension cultivators. Killing one or two half-step immortal ascension cultivators would be easy. An expert with the power of an immortal root should have the demeanor of an expert. The people from the profound dream world were all stunned. Yang Wu took his time to collect the cosmos items from the dead man. Then he slowly walked back to the Jiang clan and said, "We should go." The Jiang clan regained their wits and left with Yang Wu. The people from the profound dream world also regained their wit. They did not dare to let them go so easily. "Form a formation and charge," Jiang Gu ordered. Immediately after, all the saints of the Jiang clan unleashed their bloodline power. Their auras completely merged together. A piece of beast skin flew out, forming an incomparably terrifying killing intent. If anyone dared to stop them, this piece of beast skin would completely wipe them out. The people from the profound dream world in front of them were scared out of their wits and opened a path. Xian Ho opened his mouth to say something. In the end, he did not say anything. Once the battle began, the Jiang clan would kill a portion of their people. It would be difficult to explain to the seventh prince. Then he would be the one to die. They could only watch helplessly as the Jiang clan's people and Yang Wu left together. "I won't let this go so easily. Once we reach the All Saints Hall, I will kill them all," Xian Ho shouted angrily out of humiliation. Menging whispered, "That person is stronger than us. He is comparable to the seventh prince." Chapter 1563. How strong was Yang Wu? Other than himself, there were only a few people who knew. The people of the Jiang clan finally truly looked at Yang Wu. He was worthy of being a man that could attract starlight. The saints outside of the Jiang clan also revealed looks of worship towards Yang Wu. Some of them had stayed behind to hug the thighs of the Jiang clan, hoping to borrow their strength to reach the All Saints Temple. They had never thought of hugging Yang Wu's thighs before, but now they realized that the real thighs were right beside them. Thus, there were people who would talk to Yang Wu and the Yang clan from time to time. They were very enthusiastic. Yang Wu did not have the time to deal with them. He grabbed Yang Zixing and passed on some cultivation knowledge to him, helping him quickly improve. Other than that, he also reminded Yang Zixing that when he fought Xie Tian in the future, even if he won, he could not kill Xie Tian. Xie Tian was also a member of the Yang clan. He did not tell Yang Zixing that Xie Tian was his son because he was afraid that Yang Zixing, this big mouth, would accidentally leak this information. Yang Zixing immediately agreed. In fact, this fellow was abused every time he met Xie Tian. As long as his strength was not unsealed, he would not be Xie Tian's match. This was what made him the most depressed. Their group moved to another place to continue gathering resources. Each person had a shocking harvest. This place could be described as, every inch of land was worth gold. No matter who came, they would be able to pick up a lot. After someone obtained a divine medicine, they swallowed it and broke through to the Jade Moon realm. There were not just 1 or 2 people like this, but rather 7 or 8. Not only were there people from the Jiang clan, there were also other saints. This meant that the saints that came from the various spatial realms would all break through to the heavenly connecting realm, increasing their battle strength. The profound chi of heaven and earth here was too rich. There were also divine veins, and with the support of divine medicine, it was hard not to break through. Of course, their breakthrough was also the result of the accumulation of days and night. Arriving here was only the best opportunity. There were also others who had increased their strength in the Star Rune realm. For example, many of the Jiang clan's saints had broken through to the next realm, and their strength had increased by another level. In this space, if he didn't increase his strength, he would die. This was because all the other creatures that came in were doing the same, and their strength would experience a qualitative leap. They also encountered some battles one after another and finally suffered some casualties. Fortunately, it was all within an acceptable range. Before arriving at the All Saints' Hall, the battles between the various worlds were rather restrained. Only when they were about to arrive at the All Saints' Hall would they truly kill their opponents. Firstly, this was to reduce the number of competitors, and secondly, they could begin to plunder the resources of their opponent. When Yang Wu and Nan Nan were together, they were usually the ones who reaped the most benefits when searching for resources. The Nan Nan had a strong connection with high-level heaven and earth treasures. They found a batch of divine medicines and materials, and obtained an incomparably rare drunken dream tree and a soul-sculpting grass that was close to a true divine medicine. The drunken dream tree could produce drunken dream fruit, which had an effect comparable to the path understanding fruit. A single drunken dream fruit could allow one to dream for 3,000 years, and from it, one could obtain astonishing benefit. It could also be used to refine drunken dream wine. A cup of drunken dream wine was comparable to a divine pill, which showed how valuable the drunken dream tree was. The soul-sculpting grass was also extraordinary. A single soul-sculpting grass could create a divine soul, and a high-level one at that. It would allow one to advance unhindered in the Jade Moon realm. Such a divine medicine would make even Overlord-level powerhouses jealous. In addition, there were some strange gains, but they didn't know what they were used for. Yang Zhenan, Meng Bingxue, Yang Ba, Su Chu, Lu Ji, Jiang Ping, and the others all had different gains. Yang Zhenan obtained some divine liquid. He didn't know what it was used for, but after soaking in it, he stepped into the half-step heaven-piercing realm, and his physical body improved by a large margin. Meng Bingxue also obtained an ice seed, which improved her ice power and made her offensive power even stronger. Yang Ba and Su Chu each found a divine medicine to increase their realm, but they didn't have time to let Yang Wu refine it into a divine pill. They directly took it to increase their realm, and both of them stepped into the 11th level Star Rune realm. Lu Ji obtained a yin-yang fruit, which was a divine fruit. It was incomparably important to him. Yang Wu personally protected him, and after he took it, his strength directly reached the peak of the Saint realm. His speed of improvement was so fast that it left others in the dust. This divine bead also helped Lu Ji awaken an innate power that no one knew about. Among them, apart from Yang Wu and Nan Nan, Jiang Ping was the one with the greatest fortune. This guy could split himself into three, and each of the three Jiang Pings found a different opportunity. The real one got a Xiantian warrior weapon, the doppelganger got many divine herbs, and the doppelganger got a top-grade saint liquid. The three of them cultivated at the same time, and after merging, they reached the pinnacle of the saint realm, just like Lu Ji. The one with the worst luck was Yang Zixing. This little guy wanted to find some top-grade divine treasures, but his ambition was too great. Instead, he only found some divine treasures, which he didn't care about at all. He was sulking. Unknowingly, they were getting closer and closer to the All Saints' Palace. They arrived at a place called the All Saints' Ravine. As long as they passed through it, they would enter the All Saints' Palace. The All Saints' Ravine was a bottomless abyss, and nothing could be seen at the bottom. There were only gusts of terrifying baleful chi drifting about. These baleful chi were incomparably terrifying, comparable to the baleful chi of the divine realm. Even saints couldn't touch them, or they would die without a doubt. After arriving here, the group seemed to be naturally suppressed, unable to fly to the All Saints' palace. This was a very bad thing for the saint. Unable to fly was like a bird with broken wings. It was a great loss. Apart from this, there was only a drawbridge from the All Saints' ravine to the All Saints' palace that could only allow 3 people to cross side by side. This was a very bad situation. This meant that tens of millions of saints would have to pass through this drawbridge and break into the All Saints' palace. One could imagine how fierce the battle would be. Currently, the drawbridge couldn't be crossed yet. It should only be opened at a special time, and the saints would be able to cross. When Yang Wu and the others arrived, there were already many densely packed living beings setting up camp, waiting for the time to open. In addition, there were also many living beings around the All Saints ravine, continuing to search for heaven and earth treasures, not wasting a single moment. After the Jiang clan arrived, they found a place to rest and reorganize. There were many living beings here, and their battle chi was incomparably powerful. The Jiang clan's people seemed a little insignificant. Fortunately, they had rushed all the way and didn't waste too much time. If they wasted too much time on the way, more living beings would arrive, and it would be difficult for them to find a place to stay. After arriving here, it wasn't easy to stay quietly. A group of demon race also took a fancy to their territory and forced their way over to chase them away. At this point, bloodshed was unavoidable. Whoever took a step back would lose their momentum and be bullied by other living beings. The Jiang clan didn't say anything and quickly joined forces. They erupted with powerful fighting strength and fought with these demon race. Yang Wu didn't hide anymore. The netherworld ice-winged blade slashed out invisibly, cutting off the demon race's heads one by one. He had a good impression of the Jiang clan, so he wouldn't allow the Jiang clan to suffer too many losses. Yang Wu's shocking slaughter was exactly what the Jiang clan wanted to see. They needed powerful help. Yang Zhenan, Meng Bingxue, and Jiang Ping were all very powerful and could provide a lot of help. Those demon race that rushed here weren't weak either. They activated their deity-level demon soldiers and wanted to kill the Jiang clan's people in one go. The Jiang clan had no choice but to activate the beast's skin again, and Yang Wu took out the black pot. The 2 super-killing weapons finally forced the demon race to retreat. This demon race didn't dare to take out the battle prowess of the Jiang clan. After discovering that they couldn't take them down, they quickly retreated. Some demon race members died, and the Jiang clan's people also died. This was the cruelty of the Thousand Saints Conference, and it would only become more and more brutal. It was unavoidable. As more and more creatures approached, battles broke out every day. Every day there would be people dying. The Jiang clan's people went through 13 battles, big and small. From the original 6,000 people, there were only 4,000 people left. Almost 2,000 people died. Yang Wu's father, Yang Zhenan, almost died. The main reason was to save Yang Zixing, this brat. Yang Zixing was too arrogant. He went to challenge a big guy and was almost killed. Yang Zhenan went to save him without caring about his own safety, which was why he was heavily injured. For this, Yang Wu scolded Yang Zixing. All along, Yang Wu had regarded Yang Zixing as Yang Jinghai. He didn't care about him, but he also didn't care about him. He had always been fearless, and the way he did things was still childish. This time, he almost caused Yang Zhenan to die. How could Yang Wu not be angry? Yang Zixing was scolded by Yang Wu, but he didn't retort. He was indeed very grateful to Yang Zhenan, and Yang Zhenan also taught him a lot of cultivation methods. After all, the two of them both cultivated the battle blood immortal art, and there were many areas where they communicated. He was very respectful to Yang Zhenan. This time, he almost caused Yang Zhenan to die. He blamed himself incomparably in his heart, and wanted to increase his strength quickly. That group of creatures that attacked them completely enraged Yang Wu. Yang Wu even broke the tyrant blade in his hand. With his strength alone, he slaughtered hundreds of creatures in succession, and only then did he completely scare them off. and Yang Wu's battle finally attracted some attention in the Myriad Saints' Gully. The creatures that could participate in the Myriad Saints' assembly were all very powerful, and no one would be easily killed. Yang Wu slaughtered hundreds of stage creatures by himself. This killing method was too powerful. Some of the creatures who were watching from afar saw this scene and memorized Yang Wu's face. Perhaps he was one of the strong contenders that could enter the Myriad Saints' Hall. Yang Wu obtained a large amount of heaven and earth treasures from the bodies of those creatures that were slaughtered. There were also some people who overestimated their own abilities, wanting to use the face of the high-grade space world to ask Yang Wu for their spoils of war. These people were from the Shattered Star Realm. Chapter 1564. There weren't many people from the Shattered Star Realm, only a dozen or so. However, all of them were half a step away from the Ascension Realm. Some were even Ascension Realm cultivators. The Shattered Star Realm was a higher realm than the Profound Dream Realm. Every Ascension Realm cultivator was extremely powerful. Even the Jiang clan members were afraid of them. People from such a high realm would wear the unique symbol of their realm. These symbols were enough to deter many creatures from acting rashly. Jiang Gu transmitted his voice to Yang Wu. Yang Wu, they're from the Shattered Star Realm. They're even stronger than the Profound Dream Realm. Don't be rash. We can't afford to offend them. Yang Wu frowned. He didn't respond to Jiang Gu. If they tried to take advantage of him, how could he tolerate it? Jiang Gu sent people to stop the Shattered Star Realm cultivators. The people who stopped them were Jiang Hu and Jiang Feng. They were also Ascension Realm cultivators. This is our territory. Please leave, Jiang Hu said to the Shattered Star Realm cultivators. The Shattered Star Realm cultivators were very overbearing. One of them shouted, "Are you blind? Can't you see we're from the Shattered Star Realm? How dare you stop us? I don't care which realm you're from. You can't force your way into our territory," Jiang Hu said, neither servile nor overbearing. "Oh, you don't want face, do you?" the man said disdainfully. Then he added, "This place is under the control of the Shattered Star Realm. If you want to stay here, hand over a third of your treasures. Otherwise, get out of here immediately. Don't doubt that we don't have the ability to slaughter you." Jiang Hu and Jiang Feng's expressions darkened. The other party was going too far. "If you can't hand over a third, we can hand over 10 divine herbs." "No more," Jiang Feng said, taking a step back. "Little girl, didn't you hear what I said? Hand over a third of your heavenly treasures, not even a little less. I'll give you 10 breaths of time to consider. If you don't agree, you'll have to bear the consequences." The man looked Jiang Feng up and down with a wretched expression, his face full of greed. "Then there's no room for discussion. Hurry up and leave. Otherwise, don't blame us for being impolite." Jiang Hu stood in front of Jiang Feng and said, "You're the first group of people who dared to disobey our orders. It's time to let you know the strength of our broken star realm. Come, let's fight," the man said calmly. He then shouted again, calling for help. As soon as his voice fell, living beings rushed over from all directions. Not only were there humans, but there were also other races and demons. There were over 50,000 of them. With just one shout, he had gathered so many people. It was indeed too frightening. The expressions of the Jiang clan's people turned ugly. Even Yang Wu felt that something was amiss. He transmitted to the people around him, "Once the battle starts, I will protect you and do my best to retreat. Don't fight them head-on. They are all very powerful." "How is it now? A third of your harvest isn't much, is it?" The man laughed coldly. He then pointed at Jiang Feng and said, "Little girl, come here and accompany me for a night. Hand over half of your heavenly treasures and we'll call it quits. Otherwise, you'll all die here." Jiang Feng was so angry that her whole body trembled. She wanted nothing more than to tear the man in front of her to shreds. However, the man's strength was definitely not weaker than hers. He was also in the Jade Moon realm. Not to mention, there were so many people around him. Just as the atmosphere became extremely tense, another voice rang out. By Dianfeng, you're still so skilled at bullying people with numbers. When will you grow up? When the man from the Broken Star realm heard this voice, his expression changed slightly. He looked in a certain direction and saw a young man riding a white horse slowly coming in their direction. The young man's clothes were whiter than snow. His appearance was perfect. He was clearly a man, but he was even more beautiful than a beautiful woman. His outstanding aura was even more enchanting. In Yang Wu's eyes, only Lu Ji could compare with this young man's appearance. Lu Ji had deliberately dressed up to look more masculine and restrained some of his beauty. His elegance was not as good as the young man in front of him. Otherwise, if the two of them stood together, it would be hard to tell who was more charming. Dongfang Yi, don't meddle in other people's business, the man from the Broken Star realm said to the young man on the white horse. Can't help it. This young master likes to meddle in other people's business. You can all disperse. It won't be too late to fight when we reach the All Saints Temple. The young man on the white horse spoke to Bai Dianfeng and the others as if he was driving away flies. The people from the Broken Star realm were all very powerful, but when facing this young man, they actually didn't dare to look directly at him. Who told this young man's background to be so great? They couldn't afford to offend him. There was no lack of hot-blooded people in the Broken Star realm. Someone shouted, "You've stretched your hand too far. Do you really think there's no one in the Broken Star realm? Our star child is here. How can you be so arrogant?" The young man on the white horse glanced in a direction and calmly replied, "Yeah, I'm waiting for you 12 stars to come. Otherwise, it'll be really boring." The next moment, someone in the Broken Star realm fell to the ground and died on the spot. The creatures of the Broken Star realm were all shocked. This kind of invisible killing method was too terrifying. This was also the terrifying part of the young man on the white horse. Bai Dianfeng hesitated for a moment, then said unwillingly, "I'll give you face. After the All Saints Temple opens, I hope you won't meddle in other people's business." After saying that, he waved his hand and led the 50,000 creatures away. One person could intimidate 50,000 creatures of the Saint Realm. What kind of spirit was that? Yang Wu couldn't help but sigh with emotion. There were so many capable people in the high-level space realms. Perhaps such geniuses could be compared to the so-called young god. They had been here for almost half a year, and they hadn't met a young god from the god realm. The young man on the white horse in front of them gave off the feeling of a young god from the god realm. After the people of the Broken Star realm left, Jiang Ge led the people of the Jiang clan forward and said to the young man on the white horse, "Thank you for your help." At this moment, Django was very courteous to the person who had come. He was no longer like before, when he still had a sense of arrogance toward other creatures. His attitude of not being afraid even if the sky collapsed had always made Yang Wu look at him in a new light. Now, he had no choice but to bow. But this bow didn't change Yang Wu's attitude toward him. Jiang Ge was really a powerhouse who knew when to yield and when to stand tall. There might be a spot for him in the All Saints Temple. The young man on the white horse smiled like a spring breeze and said, "You're from the Jiang clan of the Transcendent Realm, right?" Django replied, "Yes, may I know who you are?" "Just call me Dongfang Yi. You people of the Jiang clan are pretty good. How about you follow me for the time being?" Dongfang Yi said with a smile. This time, everyone was stunned. Did he mean to take them all as his subordinates? Jiang Ge didn't know how to answer for a moment. This matter was too big, and he couldn't make the decision alone. Dongfang Yi said again, "Don't worry, I don't mean to make you my subordinates. Just treat it as me staying with you. Anyway, the Jiang clan and my clan are old friends, and it was my clansmen who reminded me to take care of you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered with you." "That won't be a problem," Django replied. If it was just joining their team, they didn't care. But if he wanted to lead them, they would have to discuss it carefully. There was still some time before the All Saints Temple opened. With such a young man, he should be able to block a lot of trouble for them. The young man, Dongfang Yi, acted like he was very familiar with them. He found a place to let the white horse loose and began to greet everyone. Especially when he saw Nan Nan, he stuck to her and didn't want to let go. However, he had a good sense of propriety. He didn't get too close, and only used the excuse of communication to talk to Nan Nan. Nan Nan wasn't a young girl who had just entered the Jianghu. She didn't dare to be careless with this young man. She didn't talk to him much, but kept a distance and stuck close to Yang Wu. It was because of this that the young man paid attention to Yang Wu. The more he looked at Yang Wu, the more interesting he found him. "Brother, your body looks really good. How did you build it?" Dongfang Yi asked Yang Wu. Yang Wu replied with a smile, "I was struck by lightning." Dongfang Yi's eyes narrowed and then he laughed. "What a coincidence. I'm often struck by lightning too." "Really? Then let's try it together next time. Let's see who's more resistant to lightning," Yang Wu replied. "That's a good idea. I just don't know under what circumstances you'll be struck by lightning? That's hard to say. I feel like I'll be struck by lightning at any time." "Is it that magical? Do you want to try?" Yang Wu and Dongfang Yi conversed, asking and answering questions as if they were old friends. There weren't too many obstacles, but in fact they were testing each other. After a while, Yang Wu found out about this guy's background. He didn't deliberately hide it. He was from the Human King realm. The Human King realm was the first realm in the human realm. It had the most cultivation resources and the strongest bloodline. No wonder he could scare away the people of the Shattered Star realm. This might be the reason why Jiang Go and the others bowed to him. Yang Wu didn't want to wait here blindly until the All Saints Temple started. There were many places around here with many heavenly treasures. He also wanted to look for them. Even if the creatures of the Shattered Star realm were eyeing him covetously, he wasn't afraid. He planned to look for them alone. He had the invisible pill. After taking one, he could hide from the eyes of all creatures. However, before he could move, he sensed that there was a battle in front of him. The surrounding creatures all looked in the direction of the battle. Yang Wu also looked over curiously, and as a result, his hair stood on end. The one fighting was Xietian. He was surrounded by other creatures. His situation wasn't good. The other side was very strong, so it would be difficult for him to escape. Yang Wu didn't say anything and directly rushed over. He anxiously shouted, "Who dares to hurt my son? You're courting death." Chapter 1565. Yang Wu had always been a person who shielded his own people. He was filial to his parents and loved his wife and son. Xietian was his blood-related son and his only child, so how could he allow anything to happen to him? The people surrounding Xietian were people from the deep dream world, Xian Ho's group. They had also arrived. It was unknown how they came into conflict with Xietian, but there were several dozen people working together to set up a barrier, blocking Xietian's path. Yang Wu didn't care what they wanted to do to Xietian, but as a father, he wouldn't allow it. The people from the deep dream world saw Yang Wu charging over and immediately came forward to stop him, shouting, "Don't cause trouble. Get out of my way." Yang Wu shouted and continued to force his way through, not knowing life or death. The person blocking him shouted as he drew his sword and slashed at Yang Wu. This person's strength was not small. Drawing his sword, a cold light flashed as it flew at Yang Wu in the blink of an eye, wanting to cut Yang Wu in half. The deep dream world could casually send out a martial saint expert. They were much stronger than the transcendent world. This was greatly related to the cultivation resources they received since they were young. This kind of battle strength could deal with any martial saint in the transcendent world, but it couldn't deal with Yang Wu. Yang Wu was at his most anxious moment, so this person blocking him was just seeking death. Without waiting for his sword to hit Yang Wu slapped him like a fly, blowing him up with a single palm. Pung! Killing a martial saint with a single move, this was something only a super martial saint like Yang Wu could do. Daring to kill our people, exterminate him for me. After Xian Ho saw Yang Wu, a fierce look appeared on his face as he shouted out. Like this, large amounts of people charged at Yang Wu. Nan Nan, Yang Ba, and the others were anxious to help, but they were stopped by Yang Zhenan. Don't go over, you'll distract Wu. Indeed, if they joined the battle, they would distract Yang Wu. Yang Zhenan himself could not remain calm. He had heard Yang Wu's words clearly. Was the child who was surrounded really his grandson? If that was the case, he couldn't just sit by and watch. That child is my grandson, my grandson. I have to save him. Yang Zhenan's heart was burning with anxiety. After comforting Nan Nan and Yang Ba, he took the South Zhenan spear and swallowed an invisibility pill. Scram! Otherwise, don't blame me for starting a massacre. Yang Wu's black tortoise battle armor and Emperor Jade battle armor covered him together. The defensive power of the two types of battle armor was unparalleled, and ordinary attacks were all negated by the black tortoise battle armor. Any attacks that could break through the black tortoise battle armor would also be blocked by the Emperor Jade battle armor. Not to mention that his reaction speed was outstanding, so normal attacks could not touch him at all. It was not easy for those people to surround and kill him. If there were too many people attacking, it would be easy for them to injure their own people. Therefore, there were only a dozen or so people who attacked him. Daring to kill my profound dream world's people, you are seeking your own death. No matter who you are, you will be turned into minced meat. It's that little bastard's father. Take him down, there's no need to fear that little bastard. The words of the person in the back completely enraged Yang Wu. You're the bastard, your entire family are bastards. Yang Wu angrily roared and turned into a dragon as he charged forward. Those attacks were nothing in his eyes as his hand instantly grabbed that person's face. That person did not have time to react and his head was directly crushed by Yang Wu. Pung! Disaster came from the mouth. Yang Wu did not want to start a massacre this quickly, he just wanted to charge to Xie Tian's side. The other side dared to curse his son like this, they were simply seeking death. When the divine mathematician said that his son was a demon, he felt uncomfortable. When others said this, he felt even more uncomfortable. Void movement technique. Yang Wu did not waste time with these people and directly passed through the void, flying towards Xie Tian. Xie Tian was surrounded by a barrier and he couldn't use void movement for now. He couldn't leave this place, so he was in an incomparably passive state. Little bastard, obediently submit and avoid physical pain. The heaven-reaching expert who had entered the barrier to capture Xie Tian said with a smile. This heaven-reaching expert had only broken through after entering this place. As for Xie Tian's strength, it had increased very quickly. As for what step he had reached, others could not see it clearly, but he was definitely not weaker than a heaven-reaching expert. Otherwise, it would be impossible for the profound dream world's people to mobilize like this. Old thing, you want to catch this young master, you're still too inexperienced. Xie Tian was at a disadvantage, but his mouth was not at a disadvantage. His body was covered in demonic chi and he held a divine weapon in his hand, dodging left and right. He could even counterattack, attacking quite fiercely. However, he was still young. This was the heaven-reaching expert of the profound dream Luo, sending him flying with a single slap. Daring to be so arrogant after stealing something, I'll beat you to death for your parents. This heaven-reaching expert continued to attack, slapping Xie Tian again and again. He did not show mercy because he was a child. Yang Wu charged over and was filled with rage when he heard these words. He took out the black wok and angrily threw it at the people outside the barrier. When did it become your turn to teach my son? The black pot was injected with immortal energy. It kept growing bigger and turned into a huge crow. It smashed the few people in front of it into a pool of blood on the spot. The enchantment instantly broke. Moreover, it even suppressed the sky-piercing expert. Yang Wu's killing intent was too strong. The Black Walk's power was very overbearing. Even if the heaven-reaching expert felt it, he still felt a hard-to-resist fear. Scram for me. The heaven-reaching expert sent out two palms at the same time. A boundless might surged out and slapped the Black Walk. Pung! The Black Walk's crushing power was very overbearing. His power did not cause any waves when it hit the Black Walk, and it was reflected back. He could not block it in time and was injured by the reflected power. He wanted to escape, but it was too late. The Black Walk came crashing down and instantly turned him into a pool of blood. A heaven-reaching expert was killed on the spot. The surrounding people were silent. They were all experts of the martial saint realm. After breaking through to the heaven-reaching realm, their battle strength was much stronger than normal heaven-reaching experts. They could not even withstand the power of the Black Walk. It could be seen how strong Yang Wu was. No, it should be said that the Black Walk was not ordinary. It was most likely a high-level divine weapon. Xie Tian, don't be afraid. With Father here, no one can bully you. Yang Wu looked at Xie Tian and said with deep affection. Xie Tian looked at Yang Wu and curled his lip. He did not say anything, but his eyes quickly turned as he said, They all have ideas about me. Yang Wu looked in the direction Xie Tian was pointing and locked onto the people who had just sealed the barrier. His killing intent flashed as he angrily threw the Black Walk at them. He did not care if they were innocent, he would kill them all first. The Black Walk's killing power was too strong. These people quickly ran away in fear. There was someone who was not convinced and raised a divine weapon to slash at the Black Walk. In the end, the divine weapon was sent flying and he was crushed to death by the Black Walk, following in the footsteps of the heaven-reaching expert. This Black Walk is a high-level divine weapon, don't touch it. Let's kill him together and see how much power he has left. This Black Walk is not bad, it will greatly increase my battle strength if I can take it. Quickly kill him, don't let him escape. The profound dream world's martial saints all made their moves. A power that covered the sky once again surrounded Yang Wu. These powers all had the power to kill gods, and when combined together, their might was even more shocking. Yang Wu continuously escaped into the void, dodging their attacks. When he reappeared, the Black Walk fell down and killed several people. Yang Wu's battle strength was too strong and the Black Walk's level was very high. Who could stop him? There was no one here who could keep up with the speed of his void travel, let alone seal him up. After Yang Wu killed several dozen people, he had completely enraged the people of the profound dream world. More and more people surrounded him, and there were even people who took out divine diagrams and divine weapons to seal the area. They had to capture Yang Wu. Yang Wu was worried about his son. When he wanted to take him away, he found that he had already disappeared. This slippery little brat. Yang Wu gave an emotional sigh. He had no choice but to think of a way to leave. The people of the profound dream world were not easy to bully. He had killed so many of their people, they definitely would not let this go. While he was in a daze, a high-level divine weapon came towards him. It was a weapon that pierced through the void and went straight for his heart. That attack was too dangerous. Yang Wu's Black Walk was smashing at him, and he didn't have anyone to protect him. His black tortoise battle armor couldn't block it. It pierced his imperial jade battle armor, and cracks appeared on it. Just as it was about to pierce his heart, Lan Xiaoji rushed out and blocked the attack. Yang Wu could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. He locked onto a direction and slashed out with his hellish ice-winged blade. The hellish ice-winged blade's power had reached the 3rd level. It could kill without leaving a trace. In the direction it flew, a person was cut in half. This was the person who had used the divine weapon. After Yang Wu put away his hellish ice-winged blade, he did not say anything and quickly ran away. The people of the profound dream world all had divine weapons. There might even be top-level divine weapons. His black walk could not deal with so many of them. If he did not run, he would die here. Brother Go, help me take care of my people. I will repay you in the future, Yang Wu said to Jiang Go telepathically. The Jiang clan did not participate in Yang Wu's personal affairs. They did not want to fight to the death with the people of the profound dream world. If they did, they would not be able to enter the All Saints Hall. Yang Wu trusted Jiang Ji's character. If he could agree, he would be relieved. As for Dongfang Yi, who was stronger, he did not dare to trust him. Dongfang Yi's background was shocking. It would not be difficult for him to intimidate the people of the profound dream world. But they did not have such a relationship. Do not worry, Jianggu replied. Thank you very much. Just like that, Yang Wu broke through the encirclement. After killing a dozen more martial saints, he disappeared. The people of the profound dream world wanted to chase but could not. They were all frustrated. Where did this person come from? We must kill everyone in his world. Could he be from a higher level of space? Otherwise, how could he be so strong? He could be from a higher level of space. But he killed so many of our people. We cannot let him go so easily. Go find his people immediately. Everyone who knows him must die. Chapter 1566. Yang Wu separated from the group, still wanting to find Xie Tian's whereabouts. Xie Tian was strong and had a strong ability to protect himself, but he was still a child. Moreover, he acted lawlessly, easily offending people. For example, Xie Tian had stolen the good things found by the people of the profound dream world and killed the people of the profound dream world, so he was targeted by others. If he offended an even stronger person, he would be in danger. Yang Wu could not bear to see something like this happen to Xie Tian. It was a pity that Xie Tian's escaping skills were first class. If he wasn't careful, he could disappear without a trace, and he couldn't find him even if he wanted to. Helplessly, he could only continue to look for treasures and wait for the 10,000 Saints temple to open. He wasn't that far from the 10,000 Saints gully, so he could feel the movement there at any time and rush over. This place was filled with living beings picking treasures, so it was hard to find a place to be alone. Very quickly, Yang Wu didn't need to look for treasures and there were living beings that came to deliver them. Some foreign races saw that Yang Wu was alone and wanted to steal the treasures on Yang Wu's body, but in the end, these fellows met with a tragedy. Yang Wu was currently filled with anger. They actually dared to take the initiative to provoke him. This old man was tired of living. Yang Wu took care of these foreign race beings and collected some divine items around them before continuing to wander around. Perhaps using myself as bait isn't bad. Yang Wu secretly thought in his heart. With this experience, Yang Wu decided to use himself as bait and began to hook the living beings that had ideas about him. This way he wouldn't need to look for treasures and there would be people that would take the initiative to deliver themselves to him. As expected, this move of his was very useful. There were living beings that came to take care of him, but they were all killed by him one by one. When he met a large group of people, he quickly avoided them and didn't clash with them. As long as they didn't surpass 1,000 people, he had nothing to fear. Not long after, he met some acquaintances. These acquaintances were people from the transcendent realm. They were the people that followed Lei Zhengtian. However, Lei Zhengtian was nowhere to be seen. Only a few dozen people were left, and they were being chased by some demons. They were running for their lives. When these people saw Yang Wu, it was as if they saw a lifesaver. They hurriedly shouted, "Divine Apothecary Yang Wu, save us, save us! Patriarch Yang Wu, save us! These demons are too strong. They want to eat us. We are willing to give you all the treasures we have. We only ask that you save us." Yang Wu could not even save his own people, so why would he want to save them? Just as he was about to turn around and leave, he noticed an acquaintance in the crowd. It was the Golden Rock Taoist. This person was once his little ancestor Yang Wu's enemy. Yang Wu had never noticed that he had actually entered the myriad sage assembly. As the saying goes, when enemies meet, their eyes will naturally turn red. Yang Wu walked towards the group of people. When the Golden Rock Taoist sensed Yang Wu's killing intent, he revealed a look of panic. Without thinking, he changed direction and fled alone. The Golden Rock Taoist was no longer the same as before. He had the strength of a peak saint. A pair of golden wings grew out of his body, and he raised his speed to the maximum. He had to get away from Yang Wu. He had long heard of Yang Wu's fame. How could he have the courage to fight with Yang Wu? "Where do you think you're going?" Yang Wu shouted. He dodged through the void and struck out with his palm. Void hand. Bang. No matter how fast the Golden Rock Taoist was, he could not outrun Yang Wu's attack. His body fell from the sky. However, he did not die. He shouted, "Yang Wu, you can't kill me! My master is Koanwa." Koanwa was an overlord in the heaven-reaching realm. He had previously helped Grand Tutor Zwa to kill him. It would have been better if the Golden Rock Taoist did not mention it. After he did, Yang Wu was even angrier. He whipped the Golden Rock Taoist again, shattering the golden armor on his body. "Don't kill me. I found a place with a divine item. If you spare my life, I'll tell you where it is." The Golden Rock Taoist hurriedly begged for mercy in order to live. Yang Wu did not waste time talking nonsense with him. Just as he was about to kill him on the spot, he changed his mind and knocked him unconscious. He was prepared to control him into a living puppet. In the future, he would let his little ancestor deal with him. After Yang Wu dealt with the Golden Rock Taoist, the group of humans flew towards him again. They had already determined that only Yang Wu could save them. Yang Wu had no choice but to attack. The main reason was that there were not many demons. There were only about 200 or 300 of them. Killing them would yield a lot of benefit. These demons were able to chase after dozens of sages and flee. Naturally, they had extraordinary abilities. It was not easy for Yang Wu to kill them alone. He thought that when he attacked, the sages would turn around and help him. However, after he attacked, the sages fled as fast as they could. They had no intention of joining hands with him to kill the demons. F***ck, these bastards. Yang Wu cursed. He did not fight against the demons anymore. He turned around and grabbed the Golden Rock Taoist and ran away. Yang Wu's speed was unparalleled. If he wanted to escape, no one could catch up with him. Not long later, Yang Wu finally found a quiet place and began to cast a spell to control the Golden Rock Taoist. The reason why this place was quiet was because it was relatively poor. Moreover, it had been plundered by other living creatures. It was in a sorry state. These guys were really plucking feathers from the geese. Even if they dug 3 feet into the ground, they would not leave anything behind. Yang Wu had obtained a lot of natural treasures from the collection spirits, and he was very satisfied with this trip. He divided his attention. He focused on controlling the Golden Rock Taoist and preventing other living creatures from approaching. However, when his puppet spell entered the Golden Rock Taoist's soul, it was all pushed out. Moreover, a shadow appeared and shouted, "Who dares to take my disciple's life?" The figure that appeared was the Golden Rock Taoist's master, Koanwa. Yang Wu did not say anything and threw the black pot at him. Koanwa's willpower was very strong, but he could not withstand the black pot's anger. "It's the Yang family's brat. Damn it!" Koanwa cursed angrily. His willpower could not escape and was scattered by the black pot. "It seems that Koanwa values you very much. Unfortunately, he can't protect you." Yang Wu laughed and continued to cast the puppet spell. Unfortunately, he was blocked again. There seemed to be layers of defense in the Golden Rock Taoist's God's Court. The puppet spell could not break through. Yang Wu hesitated for a moment before flying out with his soul power and breaking into the Golden Rock Taoist's God's Court. "Hee hee, you're finally here." A shadow in the Golden Rock Taoist's God's Court sneered. The golden rock Taoist in the god's court was not in human form. Instead, he had a human head and a rock body. His soul power was very strong. It was obvious that his soul had reached the god realm. Such a divine soul meant that the golden rock Taoist had the ability to transform into a rock. However, his physical body was not strong enough. It was not as strong as his divine soul. This was also the reason why Yang Wu's puppet spell could not imprint on his body after breaking in. "You're waiting for me to come in?" Yang Wu asked. "Of course. This is my world. My divine soul devoured your soul power. Let's see if you're injured." The golden rock Taoist laughed sinisterly and pounced at Yang Wu. With a flap of his wings, his soul power formed into a winged sword that slashed towards Yang Wu. The reason why the golden rock Taoist's soul changed was because he obtained a soul rock fruit here. It helped him form his divine soul and see the heaven ascension realm. Unfortunately, he had underestimated Yang Wu's fighting strength. Even if this soul was only half of Yang Wu's soul power, it was still stronger than the golden rock Taoist's divine soul. Otherwise, he would not dare to be so bold. Yang Wu's battle soul seemed to be fighting like a real battle. He continuously attacked and threw out a few punches, causing the golden rock Taoist's divine soul to be at a loss. "Impossible, impossible, why is your soul power so strong?" the golden rock Taoist said in disbelief. "Frog at the bottom of a well," Yang Wu said in disdain. He once again suppressed the golden rock Taoist, causing his divine soul to almost collapse. The golden rock Taoist was so scared that he peed his pants. He hurriedly said, "I'm willing to submit. I'm willing to submit." What was the use of submitting now? Yang Wu only needed a loyal slave. He once again used the puppet curse and completely controlled him. When Yang Wu controlled the golden rock Taoist, he immediately confirmed that the golden rock Taoist had indeed found a place with a divine object. At that time, he followed a large group of people and did not dare to take it for himself. The divine object was hidden very well and was buried underground. He had a special sense to discover its existence. Yang Wu was overjoyed and hurriedly let him lead the way. Not long later, he arrived at a place that had been plundered. It seemed like there was nothing left. The golden rock Taoist brought Yang Wu to a place that had been flipped over and said, "It's hiding below. We have to seal this area or it will escape." Yang Wu nodded and used his hands and feet to seal off an area with a radius of 1 mile. The golden rock Taoist used his power and started to flip the ground. Not long later, a golden light flashed and wanted to escape. Yang Wu looked at the golden light and raised his eyebrows, exclaiming in surprise, "Gold shield string snake?" The gold snake string was not a real snake demon or snake beast, but the name of a divine object. It looked like a snake and was a divine medicine. A drop of the gold snake string's juice could create a golden arhat. It was enough to show how precious this gold snake string was. Yang Wu really did not expect to find such a divine object. He had no use for it, but it was very useful for Jin Yuchen and Jin Yuhao, who cultivated the power of gold. It was also precious to the golden rock Taoist. If he had obtained this gold snake string earlier, he would have been able to enter the connecting heaven realm. Yang Wu had already sealed this area. It would not be difficult for the golden rock Taoist to take the gold snake string. "Master." The golden rock Taoist handed the gold snake string to Yang Wu. Yang Wu held the gold snake string. It was like a snake that bit towards his hand, but it was not a threat. "Turn this place upside down," Yang Wu ordered again. The golden rock Taoist immediately did as he was told. After a while, he found some golden liquid in the depths of the ground. With the gold snake string's existence, there must be some gold god liquid. The ancients did not deceive me, Yang Wu said with a smile. Wherever I appear, there will be people offering divine objects. The ancients did not deceive me. Another voice sounded from not far away. Chapter 1567. A young man of about 28 years old slowly walked towards Yang Wu. He stepped in the air, holding the fan of beauty in his hand. He wore a golden robe and had a slender figure. His entire body was enveloped in divine light, making him look very outstanding. Yang Wu looked at him and found that his aura was very shocking. He was like a bright sun, making it difficult to look at him directly. After taking a closer look, he found that the aura emanating from him was a powerful demonic aura. This was a demonic creature that had taken human form. Yang Wu ignored the demonic creature and collected all the golden godly liquid on the ground. The demonic creature did not attack. Instead, he waved his fan and watched calmly as Yang Wu collected the golden godly liquid. After Yang Wu was done, he said, "Hand it over to me when you're done. I can consider taking you as my first human pet." Yang Wu did not seem to hear him and turned to leave. He did not have the intention to bicker with the other party. Even if the other party looked a little extraordinary, he was no different from an ordinary creature. "Are you deaf?" the demon clan creature said. Its body flickered, and it appeared in front of Yang Wu, blocking his path. Yang Wu frowned and said to the Golden Rock Taoist, "Get rid of him." The Golden Rock Taoist accepted the order and immediately unleashed a powerful attack towards the demon race creature. The Golden Rock Taoist had the strength of a peak saint. When he attacked with his full strength, he had the strength to threaten those in the heaven-reaching realm. Otherwise, he would not have been able to enter the Thousand Saints' assembly. The power of the Golden Rock swept towards the demonic creature. The demonic creature raised his eyebrows slightly. "My rock race's magical power?" He raised his hand and pressed his palm down on the Golden Rock Taoist. It was as if a real golden rock had appeared. It was much stronger than the Golden Rock Taoist's attack. Moreover, the Golden Rock's appearance was more vivid. It pressed the Golden Rock Taoist to the ground. Puff! The Golden Rock Taoist immediately coughed up blood. His aura had completely withered. The Golden Rock Taoist's strength was comparable to a martial sage's, but he was still not a match for the demonic creature. It was clear that the demonic creature's strength was extraordinary. "Kneel down and become my human pet. You only have one chance. If you miss it, you'll go see the King of Hell." The monster stomped on Golden Rock Taoist's back and crushed his saint body. The poor Golden Rock Taoist didn't die in the hands of Yang Wu, but under the feet of this monster. Without saying a word, Yang Wu rushed forward and blasted the monster's face. Since the other party was already bullying him like this, how could he tolerate it? The monster had been prepared for Yang Wu, but he didn't expect Yang Wu to be so fast. By the time he reacted, Yang Wu's fist was already in front of his face. He dodged instinctively and avoided Yang Wu's fist, but his face was still burning. Yang Wu did not expect the other party to actually dodge, and was slightly shocked, but it did not prevent him from punching again, and the speed of this punch increased by a lot. This time the Demon Clan creature could not dodge. Bang! The Demon Clan creature took Yang Wu's punch head-on and cried out in pain. His body was sent flying at an extremely fast speed. However, Yang Wu would not let him go so easily. He chased after him like a shadow and punched the monster's face again and again. Yang Wu could kill a martial sage with one punch, but he could not kill this monster. The other party was indeed very powerful, equivalent to a super martial sage. No matter how strong the monster was, he was not as strong as Yang Wu. His face was punched dozens of times by Yang Wu, and his face was split open, blood spurting out continuously. "Ah, bastard!" The Demon Clan creature roared, and a powerful force erupted from his body, and he transformed into his true form. The powerful demon chi formed a shocking murderous gold chi that enveloped Yang Wu. This murderous gold chi was quite terrifying, and saints would definitely die if they came into contact with it. Even Yang Wu's black tortoise battle armor could not block it, forcing Yang Wu to retreat some distance. However, as he retreated, he was still kicked by the Demon Clan creature, sending him flying. The demon clan creature transformed into a golden rock. This was a real rock. It was not something a fake golden rock like Golden Rock Taoist could compare to. It seems that I am fated with the Rock Clan, then I will take you as my mount. Yang Wu was not afraid but was happy. When he entered the martial sage assembly, he did not bring the silver-patterned turtle, not because he did not want to bring it, but because he wanted to let it barge in as a demon clan creature. As for whether it could barge in, he was not sure. This was also the reason why he did not have a mount. Now, this golden rock was majestic, full of murderous gold chi, and its combat power was very strong. It was definitely not inferior to an ordinary divine realm creature, or even stronger. If he could subdue it as his mount, it would be a wonderful thing. How dare you be disrespectful to me, you deserve to die, the golden rock screamed, and its wings turned into thousands of sharp swords, strangling Yang Wu. A golden sword field appeared, and thousands of sword chi were full of destructive power, and everything within a range of 50,000 feet was about to be twisted into powder. Yang Wu carefully sensed the golden rock's realm, and it was obviously still in the demon saint realm, but it could explode with power comparable to a mid-level divine realm creature. It was indeed abnormal. Such strength was completely comparable to super martial sages like Putoro and Xiezhen, and compared to the top martial sages in other high-level spaces. At first, he thought that the other party was a demon race creature from the divine realm, but now he felt that it was not so. The power in Yang Wu's body surged, and the Emperor Jade battle armor set him off like a jade-colored god of war. He forcibly blasted out of the golden sword field, scattering all the sword chi, and the domineering fist force continued to hit the golden rock. The golden rock screamed and turned into a flash of speed, dodging Yang Wu's attack. Its sharp beak was like a sword, and it slashed at Yang Wu's head. Extreme Rock Sword. The speed of a true rock was unparalleled, and it was astonishing when it burst out with full power. This move was enough to make many divine realm creatures unable to withstand it. Yang Wu's perception was amazing. Looking at the sword coming at him, he raised his finger and slashed at it. Magnetic sword finger. Ding dong. The power of the two swords collided, and sparks flew in all directions. Yang Wu's strength was stronger, and he shattered the golden rock's attack. He even slashed at it, causing its feathers to fly and blood to splatter. The golden rock screamed as it was injured. It suddenly spat out a golden bell from its mouth. This golden bell shone brightly, and its murderous aura was oppressive. It enveloped Yang Wu, and there was a deafening sound of the bell. Yang Wu could feel that this golden bell was extraordinary, and he kept retreating. However, the golden bell still flew over, and the sound of the bell made him feel uncomfortable. He had no choice but to take out the Big Dipper sword and slash. The golden bell shook, and golden light turned into swords that crazily attacked Yang Wu, blocking the attack of the Big Dipper sword. Human pet, you can't escape. This is my ancient god golden bell. Even a god's son wouldn't dare to take it head-on. Be obedient. The golden rock laughed proudly. This golden rock actually came from the divine realm, but it was only the mount of a god's son. It was quite impressive that it had such combat power. Is that so? Then I'll see how powerful it is. Yang Wu replied and threw the black wok. Clang! A crisp sound was heard, and the ancient god golden bell was smashed until it dimmed and fell into the distance. The golden rock was instantly dumbfounded. His ancient god golden bell was a high-level divine weapon, and it was given to him by the god's son. It was broken just like that? While he was in a daze, the black wok fell from the sky and crushed toward him. Oh no! The golden rock was shocked. Its wings flapped, and it turned into a golden light, wanting to escape. The golden rock's speed was really fast, but it was not as fast as Yang Wu. Yang Wu shuttled through the void and jumped on its back. The golden rock was shocked. It kept releasing its murderous aura, trying to force Yang Wu down. Yang Wu was not afraid. He raised his foot and stomped on the golden rock's back. Bang! Bang! Yang Wu's foot was very powerful. He stomped on the golden rock again, and the golden rock fell to the ground. The golden rock screamed in pain. Its body was spinning rapidly, trying to shake off Yang Wu. Unfortunately, it could not do so. Yang Wu was not polite at all. He kept stomping on the golden rock and said sternly, "Submit to me, or die." "Impossible, I'm the god's son's mount. If you dare to treat me like this, the god's son will kill your entire clan." "No, he will kill all the creatures in your world," the golden rock replied. "You're from the god realm?" Yang Wu asked. "Of course I'm here. If you know what's good for you, let me go quickly. Then we're even." "You don't look like one at all." "How do you not look like one?" "You don't look like one. Didn't they say that the gods in the god realm are very strong? Why are you so weak?" The golden rock was provoked by Yang Wu's words. It vomited blood again. It was speechless. It was only a top-level beast saint. Was it not strong enough to have such fighting strength? What else could be considered strong? With its fighting strength, it was enough to sweep away the martial saints of the human realm. However, when facing Yang Wu's words, it really had no reason to refute. It did not have any courage to refute. It was indeed weak in the eyes of others. The golden rock still did not submit. Yang Wu broke its wings and stepped on it to the ground, no longer tormenting it. He did not have the patience to waste time with it. If it was not willing to be a mount, he would send it on its way. Just as Yang Wu was about to kill the golden rock, a golden light flashed on the golden rock's body. A force blocked his fatal power, blocking the fatal blow for the golden rock. The golden rock disappeared into thin air, and no trace of it could be found. Yang Wu was stunned. He looked at a talisman that had lost its power floating in the air and muttered, "What talisman is this? It's so strange." Yang Wu did not know anything about talismans. Moreover, in the transcendent world, only the dragon and tiger sect had a channel. The other forces rarely understood talismans. He only knew that talismans had unimaginable power. He had seen the dragon and tiger sect's geniuses use it before. It indeed had some strange abilities. Yang Wu did not think too much about it. Just as he wanted to continue looking for heavenly treasures, he suddenly sensed thousands of rays of light bursting out from the All Saints' Palace, completely enveloping the entire space. These rays of light were incomparably sacred, filled with mysterious and dazzling colors. The All Saints' Palace opened. Chapter 1568. The All Saints' Palace had opened. This also meant that the All Saints' Assembly had truly begun. The time to compete for natural treasures had passed. It was time to compete for the 10,000 spots to enter the All Saints' Palace. A large number of living beings rushed towards the All Saints' Palace in a frenzy. The Qi in front of the All Saints' Palace had already dispersed from the suspension bridge, leaving the only path for the creatures to pass through. Flying was not allowed in front of the 10,000 gully. You could only fight your way through with your strength. After entering the All Saints' Palace, there was still one last round of fighting before the 10,000 spots were finally decided. Of course, there were great benefits to being the first to enter the All Saints' Palace. It was rumored that there were ancient divine treasures there. Whoever could obtain them would be able to improve their strength by leaps and bounds. The divine treasures in the All Saints' Palace were naturally extraordinary. They were more precious than the natural treasures in this space. Therefore, whoever entered the All Saints' Palace first would have a chance to be one of the 10,000 spots. In front of the All Saints' Gully, creatures from various large realms rushed toward the suspension bridge together. They were as fast as they could and as strong as they could. They did not dare to be careless. If anyone was negligent, that person might be eliminated. I will enter the All Saints' Palace. I will kill whoever stops me. I will definitely be one of the 10,000 spots. Get out of my way. This place is sealed by the Heaven Martial Arts realm. Stop immediately. What is the Heaven Martial Arts realm? Do you think the 7 rainbow boundary doesn't exist? The spots are obtained through killing. Kill to your heart's content. The creatures from the 81 realms all started fighting. Some powerful realms wanted to seal the All Saints Gully and not let anyone pass. In the end, they provoked the public's anger. Some creatures from other realms joined forces and displayed terrifying strength. In addition, top-grade divine weapons appeared. Under the control of many creatures, they displayed terrifying power and charged toward the suspension bridge. The suspension bridge could only allow 3 people to pass at the same time. There were millions of creatures here. It was a spectacular scene to watch. Some of the living beings used their flying talents or flying divine weapons in an attempt to fly over the Myriad Saints ravine. However, as soon as they flew out, they fell into the Myriad Saints ravine and disappeared. Those flying creatures were so scared that they did not dare to do it again. They could only obediently fight for the spots on the suspension bridge. The high-level creatures from different realms joined forces and crushed the other creatures who competed for the spots. An earth-shattering power filled the sky as clouds of blood mist exploded continuously. Many severed limbs were sent flying in all directions. Miserable shrieks rang out continuously as many martial sages were killed. This was the true All Saints assembly. Whoever wanted to enter the All Saints Palace had to pay the price in blood. If weak living beings tried to force their way in, they would basically be killed. Even if there were powerful creatures, without the help of other companions, it would still be extremely difficult to kill one's way in. Many of the creatures in the distance didn't move. They wanted to wait until the battle in front of them ended before sneaking in. However, how could the Myriad Saints assembly be so simple? They only had a single day to compete, and if they couldn't enter the Myriad Saints' palace within this day, the others would all be eliminated. People from different realms knew very well that there was a limit to the number of spots they could enter. So they were especially anxious for their seed candidates to enter. They could not eliminate their most important people first. Most people from different realms did not have such awareness. They all wanted to enter the All Saints' Palace. They all wanted to reach the top in one step. They only wanted to fight for themselves. They did not care about the lives of others. The more they did so, the faster they would die. The people from the Jiang clan were also moving. They did not have time to care about Yang Ba, Meng Bingxue, and the others. Only the people from the Jiang clan joined forces. They activated the beast skin and attacked aggressively. Their goal was clear. They wanted to make sure that Jiang Ge, Jiang Ji, Jiang Hu, and Jiang Feng entered. The others were already prepared to sacrifice themselves. The Jiang clan was indeed the most powerful force in the transcendent realm. So many saints joined forces and forced their way through. The beast skin emitted a divine light. It had the power to kill gods and devils. The people from the Deep Dream realm had been watching the Jiang clan for a long time. They had wanted to destroy the Jiang clan. But because Dongfang Yi was there, they did not do it. They were afraid that the young man from the first realm would use more power to deal with them. Now Dongfang Yi had left. Only the people from the Jiang clan were left. They would not let go of such an opportunity. Xian Ho organized a group of more than 10,000 people to attack the Jiang clan fiercely. Dozens of divine weapons flew out. There was also a divine map. Under the control of the saints, they were determined to destroy the Jiang clan. However, they underestimated the strength of the Jiang clan and the power of the beast skin. When the Jiang clan's power was concentrated on the beast skin finally showed its ultimate power. Roar. The beast skin turned into an ancient beast. Its roar was filled with supreme majesty. It shook the divine weapons on the Deep Dream planet and caused them to fall to the ground. Not only that, but the beast also attacked the people of the Deep Dream planet. Its terrifying power instantly took the lives of many martial saints. Someone recognized the origin of the beast and cried out, It's the ancient totem Qiongqi. It really is an ancient beast like the Qiongqi. Where did these guys come from? How did they get the Qiongqi? That's a race even more mysterious than the true dragon race. Didn't they go extinct? That's just a beast skin. They look like savages. Could they be from some ancient era? The Jiang clan was the last hope of the transcendent realm. It was impossible for them not to have any trump card. The Cheongqi beast skin was their strongest trump card. It was a beast skin that had reached the true god realm. Marquis Xian was also frightened by the Jiang clan's move. Just as he was about to use a powerful trump card, the Jiang clan had already broken out of the encirclement. They did not plan to tangle with them to the end, and rushed into the All Saints' palace first. "You savages, just you wait. I will not let you go." Xian Ho cursed in his heart. If he could not enter the All Saints' palace and caused so many people to die, he would die if he went back. Yang Ba, Su Chu, Meng Bingxue, and the others did not force their way into the All Saints' palace. Instead, they took the opportunity to retreat. They originally wanted to support Yang Wu, but Yang Wu and Yang Zhenan were nowhere to be found. They had too few people. They did not plan to risk their lives and enter the All Saints' palace. Yang Wu had already told them not to force anything. Only by staying alive could they have a future. There were countless experts from various realms. There were many people stronger than them. If they went in, they would only die. Nan Nan and Yang Zixing wanted to go in, but they were stopped by Yang Ba and Su Chu. They would be courting death if they went in. It was better to find more resources in this space and leave. Besides, they had lost sight of Yang Zhenan. They did not know where Yang Zhenan went. Yang Zhenan disappeared when Yang Wu left. They had been waiting for him to return. Unfortunately, he did not appear. "Let's go. While they enter the All Saints' palace, let's go find some treasures," Yang Ba said. "That's right. Let's not wait any longer. The clan leader and the southern saint will be fine," Su Chu replied. Meng Bingshua's eyes flashed. "It would be a pity if we did not try." Yang Zixing echoed, "That's right, that's right. Let's give it a try." The one who dared to try was definitely not Yang Zixing, but Jiang Ping. This guy did not hesitate. He directly rushed into the chaotic battle. He was so fast that it was hard for people to notice him. If anyone among us can enter the All Saints' palace, it has to be Jiang Ping, Lu Ji said with certainty. He paused and sighed. If Sun Do was here, he would definitely be able to enter. Both Yang Ba and Su Chu were unwilling to give up. How could they not want to give it a try in their hearts? "Let's go. There's nothing to miss," Lu Ji called out to them. Just as they were about to leave, a group of people charged towards them. There were hundreds of them. They did not enter the All Saints' palace. Instead, they attacked them. They were clearly prepared. Not good. "It's the people from the Shattered Star Realm. Run!" Meng Bingxue cried out. Before, they had offended the people from the Profound Dream Realm and the Shattered Star Realm. Those people came because Dongfang Yi left. "You ants from the lower realms, it's time for you to die." The people from the Shattered Star Realm shouted. "That girl stays. Master Bai likes her." Someone else said. "Hundreds of saints against a few saints. The difference in strength was too great. I'll take the rear. You guys run." Yang Ba pulled out the sky-dominating axe and shouted. He attacked the people who were rushing over. "I'll go with you," Su Chu shouted. He also attacked with Yang Ba. Their strength was not what it used to be. They also had the divine weapons that Yang Wu gave them. They could explode with great fighting power. Unfortunately, there were too many people. How could they resist? None of them could escape. They were all surrounded. "Don't fight with them here. Come closer to me," Lu Ji shouted. A formation map flew out. His palms were floating with grain power. It combined with the formation map and bound the others. It carried out a transfer. This was a transfer formation. It could transfer them to another place. The distance was not too far, but it was enough for them to save themselves. However, Lu Ji did not expect that they would be transferred to the suspension bridge. Everyone came back to their senses. They stood on the suspension bridge. The evil wind was constantly floating around. If they touched the evil wind, they would be corroded into ashes. I'll be damned. How did we get to the suspension bridge? Lu Ji shouted. Advisor, where should we go? Yang Ba was also shocked. He asked a very stupid question. Yang Zixing said disdainfully, Of course we'll break in. Let's go. This little guy took the lead and rushed toward the All Saints Palace. Chapter 1569. The battle in front of the drawbridge continued, and more people charged in. The drawbridge seemed to be eternal. No matter how those people fought, no matter how much power fell on it, it would only sway. It was not destroyed by the power, and there was not even a trace of damage. However, if the living beings standing on it lost their balance and accidentally fell off the drawbridge, they would definitely not have a corpse left. The baleful Een Wind was a kind of god-level power. It was very strange and was not something they could resist. Even if they had divine weapons, it was still the same. A few powerful martial saints finally broke through the encirclement and charged toward the drawbridge, desperately rushing toward the All Saints Palace. The martial saints who could enter the drawbridge were all very powerful. Otherwise, they would not have been able to withstand so many intense battles. Yang Wu also arrived. He had not been too far away. When the All Saints Palace emitted divine light, he used the void travel technique to rush over. When he arrived, he was instantly stunned. Millions of living beings were fighting here. The terrifying power that erupted was too frightening. There were living beings dying almost every moment. No one was lucky enough to escape. There were also some who had long since left the battlefield. They knew their own strength. If they did not have the ability to charge in, they would just stay here and collect more natural treasures. Most of the living beings yearned for the divine realm and the inheritance in the All Saints Palace. They were also full of confidence in their own strength and must charge in. Unfortunately, there was no way to fly in this place. They could only force their way through. Without enough strength, how could they charge in? When Yang Wu saw this scene, he also felt that the situation on the battlefield was too exaggerated. There were limited spots to enter the All Saints Palace. Why were there not so many people who overestimated their own strength? Forget it, I'll find Father and the others first. Yang Wu said and began to wander outside, looking for the whereabouts of his father, Lu Ji, and the others. Yang Wu circled around the periphery, but did not find any trace of Yang Jinan, Lu Ji, and the others. He could not help but feel anxious. If they were involved in the battle, they would definitely die. Apart from this, he also saw Jiang clan in the battlefield, currently doing everything they could to break out of the encirclement. He feared that they might be inside. Even though Yang Wu had the soul eye, he couldn't see very clearly. There were too many saber lights and sword shadows, and his vision was completely obstructed. I can't care about that for much longer. Let's kill our way in first. Yang Wu steeled his heart and began to break through. Yang Wu wasn't in the mood to fight with them. He took out the black pot and charged in. The black pot had a rebounding power, so anything that got close to it would be pushed away. All of a sudden, Yang Wu rushed in. Wherever he went, the creatures there were sent flying. Some were even squeezed to death. Barging into the All Saints Hall, there was no room for mercy. Bastard, stop squeezing. My balls are about to burst. What kind of power is this? I can't take it anymore. That bastard. Everyone, quickly kill him. The martial saints were all sent flying by the power of Yang Wu's black walk. No one was able to stop him. When these creatures came to their senses, they joined forces to attack Yang Wu. However, their attacks were futile. The black pot's rebounding power was too strong. Their power hadn't even touched Yang Wu before it was reflected back. Moreover, they had even injured innocent people. Just like this, Yang Wu forced his way in. Many creatures were helpless. Yang Wu's black pot was too powerful. Yang Wu's journey wasn't so easy. He encountered a terrifying divine sword that slashed at him. He also encountered an exquisite pagoda that enveloped him. There were also different divine weapons that emitted astonishing power. He was forced to inject immortal qi into the black pot to send these divine weapons flying. Yang Wu finally made it to the side of the Jiang clan. They were already very close to the suspension bridge. Unfortunately, the pressure they were under was too great. It was difficult for them to break through. There were many creatures from the high-level space world here. The divine weapons they produced were of very high levels. Moreover, there were many of them. When they joined forces, they beat the Qiong Qi of the Jiang clan until it was about to collapse. The Jiang clan constantly overdrew their strength, and even burned their life force to help Jiang Go, Jiang Ji, and the others reach the suspension bridge. In front of them was a terrifying bone weapon. This bone weapon was a sickle. Under the control of the Bone Clan creatures, its lethality was incomparably terrifying. It was about to harvest the Qiong Qi. On the other side, someone was controlling a divine saber. This was only a damaged divine saber, but the power of its slash was comparable to that of a top-grade divine weapon. There was also someone who took out a strange prismatic weapon. It spun rapidly, like a giant wheel colliding with the many divine weapons. These divine weapons weren't controlled by one person. Instead, there were thousands or even tens of thousands of creatures controlling them together. They could even unleash their strongest power. The Jiang clan's beast skin seemed to be a little difficult to support here. If it weren't for the fact that their bloodline power could fuse together to fight, they would have been beaten down long ago. After Yang Wu rushed over, he didn't see his father, Lu Ji, and the others. He became more and more anxious. Just as he was feeling anxious, another wave of turbulent energy blasted his body. Rumble, rumble. A deafening sound rang out incessantly. The destructive power had reached an incomparably terrifying level. Yang Wu felt that the black pot's power couldn't hold on any longer. He was constantly consuming energy while carrying the black pot. He had killed his way here with his own strength because of the immortal qi. Moreover, his combat strength was incomparably strong. Otherwise, even with the black pot, he would have been killed. After blocking this wave of attacks, he saw the people of the Jiang clan beginning to fall. Even if we die, we have to send a few commanders into the All Saints' Palace. Burn our lives. We have to ensure that a few commanders enter and fight for a portion of the resources for our transcendent world. To be able to die for the transcendent world, to be able to die for the clan, is my honor. The people of the Jiang clan all revealed resolute expressions. Even if they had to risk their lives, they had to escort their commanders in. Their bloodline power and spiritual will merged into one, forming an extremely terrifying flood of battle qi that crazily rushed inside. As they burned their lives, some people quickly fell. Their lives were burned out, or they were injured by the aftershocks of the divine weapons and died on the spot. The people of the Jiang clan were all experts, not inferior to the martial saints of the high-grade realms. Unfortunately, there were too few of them, and they were attacked from both sides. Naturally, it was difficult for them to move forward. I won't let your sacrifice be in vain, Jiang Gu, who was controlling the beast's skin, said with tears streaming down his face. Our mission is to enter the All Saints' Palace. Jiang Ji shouted loudly. You won't have such a chance. All of you will die here, another creature roared. It was the creature of the Bone Clan. The bone weapon slashed down again. Everyone was fighting for the same path, and no one wanted to give way to the others. The creatures of the Bone Clan had no enmity with the Jiang clan, but those who fought for the path were all life and death enemies. The power of this slash was getting stronger and stronger, and it had also merged with the spiritual will of the creatures of the Bone Clan. If it slashed down, another group of people from the Jiang clan would die. The Jiang clan had the fewest people, and they received the most attention. The people of the various forces felt that they were easy to bully. Just as the blade was about to slash down, a figure carrying a black pot rushed forward and blocked the blade. Clang! A crisp sound rang out and a figure was sent flying. Yang Wu! The people of the Jiang clan all exclaimed when they saw the person who blocked the slash for them. They didn't expect that Yang Wu would block such a terrifying slash for them at the critical moment. The slash had gathered the power of 20,000 creatures of the Bone Clan. Yang Wu was most likely going to die after being hit by it. What are you all still standing there for? Hurry up and break out. I'll block some of the obstacles for you. Yang Wu's voice rang out. He didn't die, but he didn't have it easy either. The power of that slash was indeed domineering, and it almost sent his black pot flying. Once the black pot flew away, he would be in a lot of trouble. The people of the Jiang clan came back to their senses and broke out of the encirclement again. Thank you, Yang Wu. The people of the Jiang clan all shouted in unison. Yang Wu was risking his life to help them, and they were extremely grateful. Yang Wu's actions completely enraged the creatures of the Bone Clan. The creatures of the Bone Clan once again urged the Bone Scythe to slash at Yang Wu. The creatures next to Yang Wu were also threatened by this slash. I can't fight them head-on, Yang Wu thought to himself. He changed direction and rushed toward the other powerful creatures. He wanted to divert the disaster. Sure enough, in the direction he passed, the Bone Scythe also slashed down. It happened to be the location of the broken divine blade. The two blades intersected, forming a fierce spark. Bone Clan, you dare to attack us? We'll cripple you. These disgusting creatures are simply looking for death. The creature controlling the divine blade was furious. He roared at the creatures of the Bone Clan and quickly counterattacked. The creatures of the Bone Clan were speechless. They only wanted to kill the guy who had just helped the Jiang clan. How could they have mistakenly attacked other creatures? Just like that, the two groups of people fought together, reducing a lot of pressure on the Jiang clan. In this chaotic scene, it was only right to fight Hu. Yang Wu took the opportunity to rush forward again. He didn't care so much anymore. He urged the black pot with all his strength, squeezing out a path wherever he went. The power of his immortal root was much more vigorous than before, but with the power of one person, the speed of consumption was too fast. Fortunately, he had the immortal liquid. Once the power of his immortal root was about to be exhausted, he didn't hesitate to refine the immortal liquid and gather all the power into his immortal root to help it replenish its power. Just like that, Yang Wu rushed to the entrance of the suspension bridge before the Jiang clan. That was the most crowded place, but they were all pushed away by the power of his black pot. A large number of creatures were squeezed into the 10,000 Saints Gully, and they couldn't be more dead. Yang Wu also angered the crowd. Several top-grade divine weapons attacked him at the same time. Chapter 1570. Yang Wu was already in front of the suspension bridge, so there was no way out. The power of the immortal root was completely unleashed, and a huge crow appeared in the air, sweeping through the surroundings. Boom, boom, boom. The crow swept through the surroundings, and all of the top-grade divine weapons were sent flying. Some of them even fell into the myriad Saints Gully, never to rise again. F***ck, my myriad dragons Jian, B***starred, what level is his divine weapon? Could it be a true divine weapon? We can't stop him, he's going to rush over. The people on the suspension bridge won't let him go, this B***starred. Yang Wu still forced his way onto the suspension bridge. The suspension bridge could only accommodate 3 people. After entering here, one would be unable to fly, and the power of their divine weapons would all be sealed, so they could only rely on their own strength to cross. The battle on the suspension bridge was even more dangerous than the battles on the side. There was a limit to the number of people it could accommodate, and some of the living beings had powerful bodies. Even though they had intentionally shrunk, they still took up a lot of space. Moreover, there were too many living beings trying to cross, so everyone was still fighting. If they didn't die at the hands of their opponents, they would fall off the suspension bridge and die in the myriad Saints Gully. Hence, the suspension bridge was the true test of one's battle prowess. After arriving here, Yang Wu felt a lot safer. He was very confident in his own battle prowess. He put away the black pot and began to force his way onto the suspension bridge. Everyone could see just how dangerous the suspension bridge was, so everyone was very cautious when crossing the bridge. They were all afraid of falling off, and they were also afraid of being attacked by the living beings behind them. After all, everyone wanted to reach the Myriad Saints' palace as soon as possible. All of the living beings that could cross the suspension bridge were powerful beings, and none of them were weak. It was just a matter of who was stronger. As soon as Yang Wu stepped onto the suspension bridge, a creature attacked him. Its fist was quite ferocious, reaching the divine level. Even though it was suppressed by the natural restrictions, its attack was still awe-inspiring. Yang Wu reacted very quickly, and he grabbed the opponent's arm and threw it out of the suspension bridge. This powerful creature fell out of the Myriad Saints' gully and was immediately devoured by the chilly wind and baleful qi. Yang Wu eliminated a creature, but there were still other creatures who continued to attack. The chaotic battle continued. Yang Wu went all out. His fists and legs moved continuously, blocking the attacks of the revered life beasts. He also counterattacked, either knocking them out of the suspension bridge or killing them on the spot. These creatures were not weaklings. Their counterattacks put a lot of pressure on Yang Wu. Fortunately, the suspension bridge was small, and he only had to face 2 or 3 opponents at a time. It was not that difficult to deal with them. Yang Wu's power scared many creatures. Some of them moved aside to let Yang Wu pass. Yang Wu wouldn't kill them for no reason. Yang Wu quickly covered a distance of 1,000 feet. There was still a long way ahead, at least 5 miles. For martial sages like them, it would only take a flash for them to get there. However, the power on the suspension bridge was greatly suppressed. Even deity-level creatures couldn't fly. It was not easy to charge across. Most of the creatures in front were rushing forward. They were also fighting fiercely. Basically, the outcome of the battle was decided in 2 or 3 moves. No one would drag it out. When Yang Wu reached 500 feet, a foreign creature with 8 tentacles attacked him. The 8 tentacles tried to bind him. It wasn't just him. Even the surrounding creatures didn't dare to get close to this foreign creature. The other party was an ancient race and was very difficult to deal with. On this suspension bridge, the other party had a unique advantage. One by one, you came to reincarnate. I'll fulfill your wishes. The tentacle monster sneered. His tentacles contained a strong poison. It really couldn't stick to him. On this suspension bridge, there was nowhere to hide. No one dared to get close to him. When Yang Wu rushed over, he became the first target he had to deal with. Yang Wu realized that the other party was difficult to deal with. He raised his palm without hesitation. He raised a finger and slashed out with metamagnetic sword finger. Poof! The tentacles were cut into pieces. They couldn't get close to Yang Wu at all. Ah, I don't believe that I can't do anything to you, the tentacle monster shouted. He spat out a mouthful of poison at Yang Wu. This move was just a trick to disturb the enemy. The next move was the most fatal. The 8 tentacles merged into one and formed a twisted rope binding Yang Wu. At the same time, someone behind Yang Wu shot an arrow at Yang Wu. A sharp force blasted at Yang Wu's back. It could be said to be a pincer attack, not giving Yang Wu any room to dodge. Yang Wu didn't care about the attacks coming from behind him. His black tortoise armor appeared and could dissipate those attacks. He only needed to kill the tentacle monster at the front. Metamagnetic sword finger slashed down again, breaking through the other party's poison and landing on the tentacle monster's head. When the tentacle monster's tentacles touched Yang Wu's black tortoise armor, it was deflected to the side. It couldn't touch Yang Wu at all. When Yang Wu's metamagnetic sword finger landed on the other party's head, a shield appeared and blocked his sword. Yang Wu didn't expect the other party to react so quickly. He simply moved his body to the side and stabbed at the tentacle monster from behind. He jumped into the air and swept over the tentacle monster's head. He couldn't fly here, but he could still jump as long as his strength allowed it. In addition, the nether ice-winged blade flew out. Puff puff. Whether it was the tentacle monster or the creature that ambushed him, they were all killed on the spot. Invisible attacks were the most terrifying. It wasn't something that any creature could block. Yang Wu ran wildly again, encountering all kinds of different opponents in succession. There were humans, foreign races, and even demons. They were all killed by him one by one. Yang Wu became a dazzling dark horse. Unfortunately, no one paid attention to him at the moment. They were all still working hard for a spot. Along the way, the most dangerous thing for Yang Wu was that he encountered an ordinary-looking young man. He exchanged 3 moves with the other party in a row and actually couldn't force the other party out of the bridge. And the other party's methods almost caused him to fall. The other party's soul power attack was very domineering. It broke into his divine court and wanted to kill him. Fortunately, he was also proficient in soul power and dodged a calamity. The two of them couldn't do anything to each other. Thus, they all gave up and dashed forward one by one. They were all fighting for a spot. There was no need to fight to the death here in advance. After a bloody battle, Yang Wu finally rushed to the gate of the All Saints' Palace with his own strength. At this time, many creatures had already gathered here. Every one of them had an extremely powerful aura. Some of them had already stepped into the divine realm. The others had not yet stepped into the divine realm, but still had extremely powerful combat strength. The square in front of the palace was extremely wide and could accommodate many people. It was as if they had entered another space. These creatures didn't seem crowded here. Yang Wu looked forward again and found that there were a total of 9 light doors in the palace. Each light door had a sealing power that temporarily prohibited entry. Perhaps it would only be unsealed after the opening ended and all the creatures that passed through gathered here. Everyone knew too little about the All Saints' Palace. Changed every 1,000 years, and there were all different ways to pass through. Patriarch, we're here. Yang Ba and Su Chu's voices rang out. Yang Wu looked in their direction and was instantly overjoyed. He quickly rushed over and gathered with them. How did you get here? Yang Wu asked curiously. With their combat strength, it wouldn't be easy for them to barge in. You'll have to ask the military advisor. Yang Ba smiled. Yang Wu looked at Lu Ji. Lu Ji puffed out his chest and said, My talent in formations is too amazing. A teleportation formation transported us all here. Yang Wu was stunned for a moment. Then, he laughed loudly and said, Haha, that works too. Not bad, not bad. Then, he asked, What are you all doing here? Can't we go in yet? Lu Ji nodded and replied, Right now, the All Saints' Palace is only half opened. I think there's still a test. The All Saints' Palace isn't that easy to enter. It's already dangerous enough to cross the suspension bridge. What other test awaits us? I'm so worried. Meng Bingxue said. Since we're here, let's just take it as it comes. Stay close to me. Don't get separated, Yang Wu emphasized. Then, he looked at Yang Zixing and said, Especially you. Don't run around. Yang Zixing curled his lips and said, The ones who can hurt me haven't even been born yet. Don't worry. Yang Wu bluntly gave him a slap on the head and then asked, Where's my father? Meng Bingxue said, When you left, he disappeared. Maybe he wanted to help you, but then he disappeared. Yang Wu frowned as a trace of worry flashed across his face. He was worried that something might have happened to his father. I didn't expect you scum to make it here. Haha, let's see where you can run to now. A maniacal laugh came from not far away. Yang Wu and the others looked in the direction of the laughter. They found that it was Xian Ho, Meng Ying, and the others from the Deep Dream Realm. They had also safely crossed the suspension bridge. The Deep Dream Realm was one of the top 10 realms of the 81 realms. They were very powerful. It wasn't just a few people who had crossed, but hundreds of them. That wasn't all. Some were still on their way. Nanan scolded, They're like ghosts that won't go away. Beauty, be careful. Trouble comes from a loose tongue. Another voice came from the other side. Then, he said, why don't you let your brother protect you? If you stay with those pieces of trash, you'll only get hurt. Come with me. I'll take you to the All Saints Temple. Yang Wu and the others looked at another person. It was Bai Dianfeng from the Shattered Star Realm. The people who had targeted Yang Wu and the others had all arrived. At this time, Dongfang Yi wasn't with them, and Jiang Gu and the others hadn't arrived yet. How were they going to deal with these two groups of people? Just as Yang Wu was about to speak, another voice came. If you want to bully my big brother, ask me first. Chapter 1571. The skinny monkey Sun Do had arrived. This guy who had disappeared for many years had finally appeared at the Assembly of All Saints. Yang Wu looked at Sun Do, who was full of fighting energy, and his eyes lit up. No wonder little He called him the innate battle body. So powerful. Yang Wu rarely praised others, but after seeing Sun Do again, he could not help but praise him. The skinny monkey Sun Do was no longer skinny. He was tall and strong, and his whole body was shining with golden light. He wore a dazzling armor and carried a broken staff. His eyes were shining with golden light, making people unable to look at him directly. His aura was very ostentatious. He was like an arrogant crown prince or prince, high and mighty, looking down on everyone. Behind him were dozens of non-human beings, all of whom exuded an extraordinary aura. Xian Ho and Bai Dianfeng looked at the creatures indifferently. They did not take Sun Do's group seriously at all. Being able to pass by dozens of creatures at once did not seem weak. However, compared to their numbers, it was still not enough. I thought some great people had come. So it's just a monkey. How dare you jump around here, haha. Xian Ho laughed wildly. Then he said to someone beside him, Ku Mu, take a few people and deal with these arrogant people. There was no prohibition of fighting at the All Saints Palace. Originally, they would only have 10,000 spots left. There was nothing wrong with eliminating opponents here. The skinny man called Ku Mu nodded. Then he led 100 people to surround Sun Do's group. As the super martial saints of the profound dream realm, they were not ordinary people. I haven't fought enough. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Sun Do was excited. He held his broken staff and was ready to attack these people. Yang Wu and the others were also about to attack when another voice sounded. If you want to deal with my master, you have to ask me first. This voice was very cold, and it made people's hair stand on end. Everyone looked in that direction and saw a group of creatures from the Ghost Clan flying toward them. There were many creatures from the Ghost Clan. There were more than 300 of them. This was incredible. It was comparable to the number of people in the higher realms. Yang Wu narrowed his eyes and called out, Lei Zongjuan. Many years ago, when he went to the Purple Cloud Palace, Lei Zongjuan had accompanied him. However, after he disappeared, Lei Zongjuan did not take back the position of the Purple Cloud Palace. Instead, he returned to the Ghost Clan. Lei Zongjuan cultivated the ghost cultivation art, passed down by Yang Wu, and his improvement was very obvious. Furthermore, he also learned the 9 lightning body tempering technique. His previous life was a cultivator of lightning, and this ghost body could resist the power of lightning, which meant that he was more terrifying than the other Ghost Clan members. Yang Wu did not expect Lei Zongjuan to appear at this time. Lei Zongjuan arrived with a group of ghost cultivators. They managed to subdue Xian Ho's people. This was the human realm. Ghosts existed, especially in the Boro realm and the Shadow realm. There were many of them. They were one of the larger races. They were very difficult to deal with. The creatures in these realms were not much weaker than those in the profound dream realm. Greetings, Master. Lei Zongjuan came before Yang Wu and knelt. The ghost cultivator behind him also bowed in greeting. A human who could be addressed as Lord by their leader must be very powerful. Bai Dianfeng said fearlessly, You can leave these things to us. The Shattered Star Realm was a higher realm than the Profound Dream Realm. He had the right to say something like that. Let's have a few more. The Jiang clan's people also came. After they fought for a while, Jiang Gu, Jiang Ji, Jiang Hu, Jiang Feng and the others came over. They had 4,000 people. In the end, less than 200 people came. It was clear that the price they paid was not ordinary. It was not that the Jiang clan was not strong enough. It was just that they had too few people. It was not easy to bring so many people. The reason why Sun Do and Lei Zhongjuan were able to bring so many people with them was because there were more than 10 to 20,000 living beings who were breaking through with them. In addition, the Xianyuan clan's people also brought some of the Battle clan's people over. The one leading them was no longer Xianyuan Tianlong. Instead, it was Xianyuan Shu and Xianyuan Hou. These two sisters came to the Thousand Saints assembly. When they arrived, they immediately attracted a lot of attention. Xianyuan Hou was too beautiful. Even in the higher realms, it was hard to find a woman with such an outstanding temperament. Yang Wu was bullied? This princess will help you. Xianyuan Hou very naturally walked to Yang Wu's side. She did not care about Xianyuan Tianlong's dissatisfied gaze. Now, Xianyuan Hou had broken through to the connecting heaven realm. Her speed of improvement was really shocking. Other than the immortal liquid Yang Wu gave her, it was also because she had a great harvest here. Xianyuan Shu and Xianyuan Tianlong had also entered this realm. With their leadership, the Battle clan's people also benefited. The Battle clan had less than 100 people who broke through together. To have such a number was already very strong. It seems that these people do not put our profound dream realm in their eyes. Let's get rid of them first. Meng Ying spoke. There was a group of powerful women beside her. Her strength was not inferior to Xian Ho's. Her beauty was also not inferior to Xianyuan Hou's. However, when she saw Xianyuan Hou appear, the fire of jealousy was ignited. That's right. You dare to act like a lord with such a small group. I want this girl. Kill the rest. Bai Dianfeng looked at Xianyuan Hou greedily and said loudly. He had close to 1,000 people beside him, far more than the transcendent realms people. Yang Wu said in a deep voice, "Whoever dares to make a move will have to bear the consequences." At this moment, Yang Wu's killing intent was also aroused. He wanted to kill Bai Dianfeng and Xian Ho together, so that they would not have to act like garlic here. Did they really think that they were superior just because they came from a higher realm? He could even beat the golden pung from the god realm to the point that its mother could not recognize it. Would he be afraid of them? Each one is more arrogant than the last. Let's work together and kill them. Xian Ho glanced at Bai Dianfeng and suggested. No problem. Send them on their way. Leave the women behind. Bai Dianfeng replied. Without Dongfang Yi here, he would not have any misgivings. Roar. Are you bullying my father? You really have guts. At the crucial moment, another creature came to the rescue. A 5-clawed true dragon revealed its true form. Its terrifying demonic aura swept out in all directions. All of the Yao felt an urge to kneel down and worship it. The true dragon race would always be the overlords of the Yao race. With a single command from them, no one would dare to disobey. No matter where the true dragon race was, it was the strongest race. This was true even in the Yao realm, let alone in the human realm. No one knew who this true dragon belonged to. Could it be that there were other true dragons here? Soon, they saw the blue dragon fly towards Yang Wu. After the true dragon, a young man with a tufted back walked over. His eyes were filled with killing intent. No one dared to look him in the eye. Just like the true dragon, the young man with a tufted back landed in front of Yang Wu. He knelt and said, "Master?" In the next moment, the young man with a tufted back transformed into a black tortoise. The surrounding creatures were stunned. The true dragon and the black tortoise were both emperors of the Yao race. Both of them were related to this young man. Behind the true dragon and the black tortoise were close to 1,000 Yao race creatures. All of them were exuding an imposing demonic aura. They arrived in front of the young man with the true dragon and the black tortoise and hurriedly bowed respectfully. They didn't recognize this young man, but since their leader was so respectful to him, they didn't dare to be disrespectful. The surrounding creatures were all perplexed. Just what kind of abilities did this young man have? How could such a powerful being kneel to him? Yang Wu stepped onto the black tortoise's back and patted the head of the true dragon. "Haha, you're finally here. I thought you wouldn't be able to pass." These two Yao race creatures were none other than Yang Zhenlong and the silver-patterned turtle. Yang Zhenlong and the silver-patterned turtle's bloodline had undergone great changes. One of them had transformed into a true dragon, while the other had transformed into a black tortoise. It wasn't an illusion, and it had something to do with Yang Wu. Yang Zhenlong had returned to the Flood Dragon race at the Dragon Phoenix mountain range and received the full support of the Flood Dragon race. However, they didn't have enough resources. Yang Wu had left him with the Dragon Phoenix fruit, the true dragon bone, and the immortal liquid. After returning from the Divine Firmament battlefield, he had also brought him other divine items to help him soar. Yang Zhenlong had also received the bloodline training method taught by Little He. It was effective for all Yao races. In the end, after experiencing a life-and-death situation, he completely transformed into a true dragon and became the Dragon Prince of the Flood Dragon race. There were also ancient true dragons in the Dragon Phoenix mountain range. They lived in small spaces and couldn't be found by ordinary creatures. After Yang Zhenlong became a true dragon, he received their guidance and received the true teachings of the true dragon race. His strength improved by leaps and bounds. Now, he had reached the peak of the demon sage realm. He didn't break through to the demon god realm because he felt that his bloodline power wasn't perfect enough. He needed to condense a complete true dragon pearl that belonged to him before undergoing another transformation. As for the silver-patterned turtle, he was the root of the Yao race. In the mortal world, he was considered a good demon turtle. However, after reaching the transcendent realm, his bloodline power didn't stand out. He was much weaker than the other Yao races. However, he had been working very hard. After receiving Little He's guidance, his bloodline slowly improved. He grew through battle after battle. Later on, he followed Yang Wu for 10 years. In those 10 years, Yang Wu also nurtured him. Taoist Pig even gave a black tortoise demon core to the silver-patterned turtle. This was the real reason why the silver-patterned turtle had transformed into a black tortoise. The silver-patterned turtle had already entered the demon god realm. He rushed to the Flood Dragon race to find Yang Zhenlong and compete with him for the Yao race's quota. In the end, he entered the Thousand Saints Conference. Chapter 1572. The appearance of Yang Zhenlong and the silver-patterned turtle finally intimidated by Dianfeng and Xian Ho. They were both experts from higher realms and had entered the Ingress realm. They had many followers, but they didn't dare to affect everyone's attempt at the All Saints Temple for their own selfish desires. The two sides swallowed their anger. They definitely wouldn't let this matter go so easily. But when the door of All Saints Temple opens, they would definitely teach these two sides a lesson. Some of the spectating factions began to mock them. "Fight! Why aren't you fighting? Weren't you shouting so fiercely just now?" The Shattered Star Realm and the Profound Dream Realm are both higher realms. That place from the Transcendent Realm seems to be at the bottom. Are they afraid of them? When did the creatures from the Transcendent Realm become so powerful? Even the higher realms fellows are scared stiff. If they dare offend me, I'll flatten them completely. What a senseless dispute! Bai Dianfeng and Xian Ho were about to explode from anger. They really wanted to order Yang Wu's group to be wiped out. They came from higher realms and had the ability to do so. They gave up because they weren't the ultimate leaders. There were still people above them. If they caused trouble, they would be the ones to die. They couldn't ruin their plans because of a momentary dispute. Yang Wu heaved a sigh of relief when he saw the two groups of people retreating. The All Saints Temple's doors hadn't opened yet. They didn't need to waste their energy here. It had taken a lot of effort to cross the dumb bridge just now. Yang Wu's group also gathered on the side. Yang Wu was incomparably happy that the skinny monkey Sun Do, Lei Zhongjuan, Xianyuan Huowu, Yang Zhenlong, and the silver-patterned turtle were all gathered together. Zhenlong, little silver, transform into your human forms. Don't be so ostentatious. We need to keep a low profile, Yang Wu said to the two Yao beasts. Although he said to keep a low profile, his smile was as bright as a blooming chrysanthemum. Like Yang Zixing, Yang Zhenlong was half his son. How could he not be happy when he transformed into a dragon? The silver-patterned tortoise was his mount, and his transformation into the black tortoise was even more astonishing. For one person to own two top-notch demonic beasts, it could be said that it was incomparably enviable. At this stage, with all kinds of martial sages from the human realm gathered here, there was no need to keep a low profile. As long as one had enough strength, they would be able to intimidate the other races. Yang Zhenlong and Black Tortoise were too scary. The demons that followed them were also very powerful and respected them. Other than that, Lei Zhongjuan was willing to pledge his loyalty to him. Yang Wu felt that everything he had done was worth it. As for the fact that Sun Do was able to kill his way over, he was even happier. The two brothers could finally fight side by side. "Big brother, should we get rid of them first?" Sun Do asked. Yang Wu replied, "No rush, no rush. We still don't know what the All Saints Hall is going to do. Let's conserve our strength first." "That's right. Now is not the time to act on impulse. We should help each other and strive to obtain a spot to enter the All Saints Hall," Lu Ji said from the side. Everyone else understood this and sat down cross-legged to recover their strength. They passed through the suspension bridge one by one, and the exhaustion was not small. In addition, Yang Wu also wanted to unite the people of the Transcendent Realm. After thinking about it, he decided to let Xianyuan Huowu invite Xianyuan Shu over. He also called Jianggu over for everyone to talk. Yang Wu, Jianggu, Xianyuan Shu, Xianyuan Huowu, and Xianyuan Tianlong gathered together. These people represented the middle power of the human race. "Yang Wu, why did you call us over?" Xianyuan Tianlong frowned and looked at Yang Wu. He did not have a good impression of Yang Wu. It could even be said that he was a little disgusted. In fact, he was jealous of him. He was the eldest prince of the Xianyuan clan and shouldered a mission to lead the Transcendent Realm to greater heights. However, Yang Wu always spoiled his plans. He was very unhappy. However, when they all came to the All Saints Assembly, the Jiang clan was the leader. Everyone from the Xianyuan clan was unhappy. Their background was not inferior to the Jiang clan. Why was the Jiang clan the leader instead of them? Yang Wu ignored Xianyuan Tianlong's question and changed the topic. "Did you see anyone else from the Transcendent Realm? We met Pu Tuolyuo before. This monk should be able to pass." Xianyuan Huowu replied. "Xiezhen will definitely come. Lei Jingtian and the others might have been killed by other creatures," Xianyuan Shu said indifferently. Yang Wu nodded and said, "Lei Jingtian and the others are indeed finished." He already knew about this from the Golden Rock Daoists. The last group of humans was led by Kuan Mingzi. No one had met Kuan Mingzi. He did not know if his group would be able to rush over. Yang Wu was very sure that Kuan Mingzi would not be absent. As expected, not long after, Kuan Mingzi appeared. There were less than 10 people left with Kuan Mingzi. Although this number was small, it meant that these people were extremely powerful. Xianyuan Shu and the others did not expect that Kuan Mingzi would really be able to pass. They thought that Pu Tuolyuo and Xiezhen would arrive first. After more than 2 hours, Pu Tuolyuo also rushed over. Pu Tuolyuo did not suffer too much damage. Only the people beside him were in a slightly sorry state. After a day had passed, Xiezhen dragged his heavily injured body over. There was no one beside him. The most powerful human martial saints of the Transcendent Realm were basically all gathered here. Before we came, the protectors told us that the Jiang clan would be in charge. I think that now is the time, Yang Wu suggested. The Jiang clan's character was indeed not bad. Yang Wu decided to let them take the lead. If they are in charge, shouldn't we not fight for a spot in the All Saints Palace? Xianyuan Tianlong jumped out and retorted. This was the question that everyone was most concerned about. Jiang Gu said in a low voice, "Once we are here, we will rely on our own abilities. The spot will belong to whoever obtains it." That's right. My suggestion is only to prevent the beings of the other realms from destroying us first. We must unite to have a chance of survival, Yang Wu added. Xianyuan Shu expressed her stance. We have no problem with that. This was a woman who understood the big picture. Pu Tuoluo put his palms together and said, I also think that we should unite. Xiezhen hugged his sword and said, All right. Just like that, the super-martial saints of the transcendent realm gathered together once again. After a day, a total of more than 100,000 beings landed in front of the All Saints Palace's square. Those who did not make it here could no longer make it. Those who were still on the bridge had all died. The sinister wind and baleful aura gathered, corroding all the beings who were still fighting on the suspension bridge to death. No matter what they did, they were unable to resist the sinister wind and baleful aura. Immediately after, the sinister wind grew stronger and stronger. Shadows crawled out from the All Saints ravine. The beings in front of the All Saints Palace all became nervous. Soon, they saw puppets wearing ancient armor and wielding ancient weapons rushing toward the 9 light gates. Their movements were orderly and their sinister aura was astonishing. There were so many of them that they looked like a powerful army from the ancient era. They were invincible and had the ability to win every battle. 9 light gates, 9 teams, 10,000 in each team. There were a total of 90,000 people controlling the light gate. Swoosh, swoosh. The All Saints Palace's light gates shone brightly. The All Saints Palace had finally opened. Now that it had opened, it meant that whoever could pass through the 9 light gates would be qualified to enter the All Saints Palace. The All Saints Palace has finally opened. Let's kill our way in. Wait, where did those puppets come from? They look terrifying. They're just puppets. They don't have much battle power. Just destroy them. Let's kill them. It's the final trial. There's no reason we can't pass. All of the living beings charged towards the 9 gates of light. Whoever could enter first would get the spot. The final battle had completely erupted. Ha! Ha! The puppets in front of the 9 light gates roared. Baleful aura erupted from their bodies as they rushed out from their weapons. Terrifying attacks blasted toward the beings who charged first. The abilities of these puppets were extremely terrifying, and each of them clearly had the battle prowess of the divine level. They were able to control the baleful Inchis here, and they were even able to set up formations to attack. The living beings who charged out first were all killed in the blink of an eye. Such a terrifying attack instantly calmed down many of the living beings. Blindly charging in like this would only lead to death. However, the moment they stopped attacking, the puppet army took the initiative to attack. Their movements were orderly, and even their attacks were uniform. Even a top-tier being would find it hard to stop the power of 10,000 divine-grade puppets. Many of the beings panicked. They took out their divine weapons and joined forces to fight against these puppets. It was also at this time that dozens of spirited beings appeared. They each rode a powerful being and gathered together to form a small world. They charged toward the first light gate. Infernal puppet army, you're too rigid. You can stop those low-level beings, but you can't stop this deity. You low-level things. Look at my country's tiger tally. Hurry up and get out of the way. All Saints Palace is the landlord who selects the low-level beings. We are the judges. These dozens of beings were overflowing with divine light and full of battle aura. Top-tier weapons flew up and broke through the puppet army, forcing them into the light gate. Many creatures were shocked when they saw this group of young creatures successfully pass the trial. Someone exclaimed, It's the young deities from the deity realm. It must be them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so strong. They're too strong. Don't just stand there. We must charge in and become a member of the deity realm. If they can enter, so can we. Everyone, work together and use your strongest trump cards. Let's charge in. After the young beings from the deity realm entered, the other beings once again summoned their courage and charged toward the light gate with all their might. They had to disrupt the puppets' formation. Only then would they have a chance to break in. Chapter 1573. The All Saints' Temple's door of light opened. More than 100,000 creatures tried their best to barge in. In front of this square, various kinds of battle cheese appeared one after another. Some were like real dragons descending to the world, some were like the roars of Chilants, some were like the descent of ancient giants, and some were like terrifying demonic shadows. The vast and powerful attacks came one after another, overwhelming everyone present. The puppet army was very strong. They had the home field advantage, and could mobilize the evil aura in the surroundings to explode with incomparably powerful strength. Any creature that touched them would find it difficult to withstand. The creatures from the Human King Realm, Heaven Martial Realm, Seven Rainbow Realm, Shattered Star Realm. The creatures from powerful realms were generally very strong. Where they were, they could explode with astonishing killing moves. The puppets were scattered and scattered, creating an opportunity for them to enter. The Transcendent Realm was really the weakest power in this place, but they were not completely powerless. Especially after they joined forces, they had the qualifications to launch an attack. The people of the Jiang clan once again joined forces, while the others rushed to the front to open a path for them. Ordinary people would disdain to do such a thing, but Yang Wu did it, and so did Xianyuan Shu. They had already discussed that the Jiang clan would be the leader, so they did not mind being the vanguard. They only had one goal. Among the 10,000 spots, the Transcendent Realm had to occupy a certain spot to obtain some resources for the Transcendent Realm. Yang Wu and Xianyuan Shu were the kind of people who could see the big picture, so they obeyed the orders of the protectors. The others did not think so. Pu Tuoyuo, Xiezhen, and Kuan Mingzi all had their own plans. They pretended to be covering the rear for the Jiang clan, but in reality, they did not want to rush to the front to die. The creatures in the front were indeed the ones who suffered the heaviest attack. However, all of this changed because of Yang Wu's existence. Gather all of your power to me. Carry the black wok. I'll bring everyone in, Yang Wu shouted. The black pot kept growing bigger, turning into a crow. The powerful rebound force blocked all of the puppets' attack. However, these puppets' attacks were too strong. Yang Wu could not block them all by himself. Patriarch, let me help you. Yang Ba, Su Chu and the others immediately came to Yang Wu's aid. I'll do it too. Xianyuan Huowu didn't want to fall behind. She pushed the black wok together with Yang Wu. Big brother, your black wok is not bad. I have a black wok too, but it doesn't seem to be as good as yours. Sun Do laughed, and the creatures behind him also used their strength. Xianyuan Shu, Xianyuan Tianlong, and the others knew that the situation was dire. Naturally, they had to help. Yang Zhenlong, the silver-patterned tortoise, and the others wouldn't just watch helplessly. They erupted with all their strength to pay Yang Wu. Not enough, far from enough. Jiang Go, Jiang Ji, gather your strength here. Yang Wu's arms were still twisted from the impact of the puppet's attack. Blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. It was obvious how much power he had endured. The people of the Jiang clan supported Yang Wu without any hesitation, advancing together with Yang Wu. The black wok became bigger, and the rebounding power became stronger. The pressure on Yang Wu lessened, and he rushed toward the third light door. Pu Tuoyuo, Xiezhen, Kuan Mingzi, and the others knew how to take advantage of the situation. They all helped Yang Wu. Let's go in first. Together, they were impregnable. Yang Wu and the others used the black wok's rebounding power and defensive power to force the puppet army in front of them away. Pang! The Black Wok was indeed a true god-level war weapon. With the support of so many people, it opened a bloody path. After Yang Wu and the others crashed into the light door, they all felt their vision blur. Then, they found themselves in a strange place. Where is everyone? Yang Wu was shocked. He realized that the people around him were all gone. Only one person was at the top of a barren mountain. There was only a small hut there, and there was nothing else. It was hard for him to imagine that this was the inside of the all-holy palace. He could not wait to open his soul eye. Unfortunately, the scene he saw was still the same. There was no change. Don't look. Even if the martial path Heaven's Eye is here, it will be blinded. A figure quietly walked out of the hut. Yang Wu focused his gaze and saw a simple and unadorned old man appear in front of him. He couldn't see anything special about him, but a sense of respect spontaneously arose in him. He bowed slightly and said, "Greetings, Senior. May I know where this place is?" "This is the saint's place of cultivation," the old man replied. Then, he slowly walked towards Yang Wu. He raised his palm and slapped at Yang Wu's face. Yang Wu clearly saw the slap coming toward his face, but for some reason, he felt that he could not dodge it no matter how hard he tried. Then, he took the full blow of the slap. Pooh! Yang Wu was sent flying by the old man's slap. He vomited blood. He was so powerful that even a god-level expert would not be able to hurt him easily. The old man in front of him easily sent him flying. It was clear how strong he was. Not bad, not bad. Unfortunately, your reaction is still a little slow. If you can dodge this slap in the next 3 days, you pass. The old man smiled in satisfaction. Dodge this slap in 3 days? What kind of test is this? Yang Wu asked after he stabilized himself. The old man smiled but did not answer. Yang Wu took a deep breath and asked, "Can I challenge you at any time during these 3 days?" "Of course," the old man replied. He paused for a moment and said, "The faster you pass, the more benefits you will get." "Then come again," Yang Wu said in a deep voice. The old man looked up and said, "Are you sure?" "Of course," Yang Wu said seriously. Then, the old man attacked again. The same concept of palm hit Yang Wu. It all depended on whether or not Yang Wu could dodge it. Yang Wu was already prepared. He stared at the old man's palm and imagined countless ways to dodge, but he was still hit. How can this be? Why can't I dodge? After Yang Wu was sent flying, he still found it hard to believe that he had been hit. He had been prepared a moment ago. He thought that when the old man attacked, he would be able to dodge. Unfortunately, he was too confident and was still defeated. Yang Wu did not challenge the old man again. He kept recalling the scene of the old man's palm strike. Slowly, he remembered some of the martial arts knowledge that Taoist Zhu had taught him. He instantly understood why the old man could hit him. This is a martial intent that is fast to the extreme. His martial intent has already locked onto me. No matter how I dodge, he will be able to hit me. As long as I am faster than him and surpass his martial intent, then I will be able to escape. Yang Wu affirmed in his heart. So, he continued to meditate in his mind. When the old man attacked, he also imagined that he could surpass his opponent's martial intent. After a while, he opened his eyes and said to the old man, "Come again." "Hee, you're the one who said it." The old man chuckled and attacked again. Yang Wu stared at the old man's palm and thought to himself, surpass it, break for me." Yang Wu's spiritual consciousness was incomparably powerful, and his combat strength far surpassed that of any other life form at the same level. He forcibly broke free from the influence of his opponent's martial intent and moved to the side, narrowly avoiding the old man's palm. After the old man's palm missed, he smiled and said, "Ha, not bad, not bad. You are a good seedling." In the next moment, he turned into a pure martial intent seed that flew towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu looked at this martial intent seed, and quickly formed a seal to seal and imprison this martial intent seed. Soon, he formed a sealing bead and put it away. After experiencing the events of the divine firmament battlefield, he was incomparably cautious about the strength of these inheritances. Although these inheritances were good, they were not something that he could cultivate. It was possible that he would become someone else's chess piece without even knowing it. If other life forms knew that Yang Wu was doing this, they would definitely be shocked. A martial intent seed was extremely precious. Once one obtained it, they could obtain this martial intent and quickly condense it into their own martial art. It was a strength that everyone yearned for even in their dreams. Yang Wu actually didn't refine it and absorb it. Wasn't this just too much of an act? Yang Wu naturally wasn't acting. He had the ability to do so. In the next moment, the environment changed once more. A stone tablet was placed in front of him. On the stone tablet was a picture of a person. This person was practicing a fist technique, appearing very imposing. And comprehending this martial skill was his mission. What is All Saints Temple trying to do? Yang Wu was very puzzled. He sat down and began to meditate on the picture. This martial skill only had one move. It was very simple, and anyone could learn it easily because it was a straight punch. Yang Wu was a little confused. Such a straight punch, was it worth it to be placed here for others to cultivate? No matter how puzzled he was, he could only learn it. This straight punch was a little different from the usual punch. The standing posture of the figure and the punch were slightly different. Yang Wu felt very awkward when he was learning it. No matter how he imitated it, he couldn't imitate that feeling. He felt that the straight punch was also very uncomfortable and difficult to perform. He opened his soul eye, wanting to see if there were any other marks on this figure from the stone tablet. In the end, he didn't find anything. Yang Wu could only meditate on it honestly. He kept his eyes on the picture, carefully observing every movement of this picture to avoid any mistake. After a while, he split into 9 and used all 9 of himself to punch out at the same time. They all did the same thing over and over again. In the beginning, he still felt awkward, but as he punched again and again, he finally understood the uniqueness of this punch. That awkward posture wasn't intentional, but according to the flow of the meridians, it could gather the energy in the dantian to the fist at the fastest speed and explode with the strongest power. In other words, with the fastest punching speed and the fastest explosive power, it was concentrated in a single punch. This was the fundamental meaning of a straight punch. So that's how it is, I understand now. When Yang Wu was very weak, he paid attention to opening up his meridians. After opening up all the meridians in his body, he was very clear about the flow of the meridians. He finally understood the crux of this human picture. When he punched out again, even he was stunned.